got a fever, and the only cure is more dead angels.
Well, I'll talk a little bit. Hi, everybody. Hello. You know what really makes me super emotional and angry? Why can't I have the lights dimmed in this room?
I've got a fever.
Oh, thank you
and
for the
only
sub.
cure is
I also
more dead
want to thank Kenji and Hubei, I think? Why doesn't it give you a special thing? I don't know why, but thank you very much. But yeah, my light sources are all behind me, and if I try to have things remotely dim, it just picks up on the shadows on my face too much, and then my mouth starts twitching too much and it drives me crazy. But God, I wish that I could get, like, I don't know, like, I guess streaming, like, there's no way you can stream and have things be dim. I just don't think it works that way, because I mean, hell, some people actually need to have the light pointed at their face. I don't know how they do it, but sometimes I just wish I could, like, stream with the lights off or something somehow. Maybe if I put duct tape over my mouth, then you won't be able to tell that it's like freaking out. But I like playing and being in the darkness. It helps me relax. But I feel very sleepy. I'm going through my food coma. I ended up going to the Olive Garden, and I basically ate my calories worth for the week there, and it was really nice. I went through like a little period where I was like, you know what, Olive Garden breadsticks are kind of whack, but even though that's true, they're okay. They're actually kind of enjoyable, especially if you dip them into chicken and nochi, really good soup. And then it was weird, it was crazy. I got this pasta dish because, I haven't like eaten like just pasta in a while. Been trying to be good. And pasta usually that makes my throat act up, but there's like a side menu where it's a smaller portion. So I'm like, oh, it's like a diet portion, cool. It arrives and I'm like, what the fuck is this? This is huge. This is like enormous, and I couldn't even eat it. Like I genuinely tried, and I got through about half of it. And then I ate chocolate mousse cake. Usually I go and I get tiramisu, but tiramisu, I just default to it too much, so I'm like, okay, let me just get like a chocolate mousse cake, and it was really nice. I actually really liked it, and I ate about half of it, so it feels kind of nice. Like, my stomach is definitely shrunk. It's really hard for me to eat as much as I used to be able to, which makes it kind of nice that cheat days aren't insane, like when I have a cheat day, that doesn't mean that I eat 3,000 calories or 2,000. So I kind of like that I have this limitation on me still. But now I got to be good for the rest of the week. Focus on eating my packets and then fruit. We have really nice quality cantaloupe downstairs in the fridge. And cantaloupe, I finally described it as tasting medicinal. Like honeydew, I think is way better. Whereas cantaloupe is basically if you take honeydew and just add a like medicinal kind of like vibe to it. But I like it, don't get me wrong. It's just a very particular strong flavor. It's weird. It's a mild fruit, but it's still strong. I don't even know if mild really suits it at all. But I was able to get my GameCube controller working, by the way. I think it's because sometimes all it is turning your computer on and off. And since the last attempt of using the GameCube controller, I've since had my PC off and then turned it on for the next day. And then I'm like, you know what? Let me troubleshoot. Let me see if I could figure this out on my own. And it worked. No problems. Literally tested it and everything was fine. So I'm like, what the hell? It was either that or me updating the program. And I don't like to update because normally it's like everything works just fine. Like, and that GameCube controller that I'm playing, it probably came out before that update anyway, right? So I just didn't feel like I had any urgency to update programs, because when you update these programs, it may do some fixes, but it'll be like niche things that you probably don't even deal with. And then it also will change your HUD interface. Like, it just scrambles and rearranges things. I saw what OBS looks like on the new update, and I don't want to deal with it. I don't like it. It's annoying. Can't we consent? If you need to make a paycheck and the only way you could do it is by continuously micro updating some program, why don't you just like make it a toggle or something? That way people can choose what they want based on aesthetics or something, and then you could keep adding updates over and over, and there will be like 90 versions. Make it like Fortnite or something. Make it so where we could buy skins for OBS or something. But give me the option. Let me consent, dude. I don't like it at all. And I never get used to it. Every program, every service, every website does it eventually, and keeps making things worse, but then better in some ways. It's rarely just straight up the worst ever. But I get complacent and used to what I use. My current OBS is perfectly fine. Is there an issue or two? I don't know, maybe, but I'm fine. I have decided to put a wedding ring on this version of OBS, and I'm ready to spend the rest of my life with her just fine. Aside that, I think I last saw you guys when we were going over the Crobe Cat video, and I found out that I was actually kind of in the Crobe Cat video. I was mentioned in the special thanks and commentary credit, where, you know, Crowcat likes to dig around and listen to the input of the community to help, you know, formulate points and also actually put said points in the video. And I surprisingly was there. I didn't know that. I was told by friends, and I'm like, wait, what? And I'm like, wait, I even had the credits play on my stream, but I went to the bathroom when I had the credits of his video. And then I went back and I'm like, I pulled up my VOD. I'm like, oh, there I am right there. But I think, you know, everybody knew I was going to the bathroom, or they mostly had me in the background. They knew that I was winding down from the essay response and that I was moving over to Resident Evil 4. But that's kind of cool. My theory is that they might have seen my videos on YouTube where I tagged them as Crowcat. And I didn't even remember this, but I actually had done a stream response reaction, whatever, to his initial Resident Evil 4 video. So I'm like, oh, he must have come across those or something. Enter the conversation halfway. Are you talking about Windows? No, just talking about just everything that goes through an update and makes things either worse or scrambles things around to where it's a bit uncomfortable. I was talking mostly about OBS and my reluctance to update Dolphin, but doing so may have possibly made it to where my GameCube controller works. And I'm very relieved because I mean, I would have been fine. I would have survived, but I was thinking that I basically had a useless piece of plastic that I was going to store into my ottoman and just move on. Like, whatever. Or maybe I'll try getting another GameCube controller, but no, it works. So I'm really excited to get to Resident Evil 4 again on GameCube. But, well, I did consider that earlier. I felt that it was best to play kind of like a lower energy game, because when I deal with the pasta paralysis, it just hits me like a ton of bricks. Like, I just cannot function. I'm a complete zombie. Oomph made it on YouTube, right? And it's funny, I'm getting downvotes on that video. Most people don't really watch my videos on YouTube. It's usually people that are already familiar with my content that go to the video. They maybe don't even watch it, but they drop me like a thumbs up, and you know, they're really cool for that. And only every now and then do I get like a downvote or something. And then I noticed I suddenly started getting downvotes. And I'm like, of course, it's because it's the Crowcat, because I dare to agree with the big YouTube man about Resident Evil 4 Remake. But at least it's not like Reddit. It's like Reddit, if somebody gets mad at you on Reddit, they will go down your profile and they'll just thumbs down every single like thing you've ever posted. Like, they just get so mad. And most likely, you know, most things that you post on Reddit, they don't get any upvotes. They just stay at the default one, right? So then your page will be full of negative ones and stuff. And it's like, it's so silly. I'm kind of surprised they didn't do that. They might still do it, but I don't get enough traction to get much haters, at least regarding that. But I stand by my point. I would rather die than ever bend the knee to Resident Evil fans that don't agree with me. I will die fighting. I will die swinging. Especially because I think that I am pretty moderate and reasonable, at least with Resident Evil. I think I actually am. So when people don't show me the same courtesy and they get like kind of like salty, I'm like, you know what? Whatever. Don't have the dedication to do something like that. So I don't know. Like some haters, they got the time. I respect the energy sometimes. I get it. But that was kind of cool. But yeah, don't really have too much else to report. I wish that I was playing Resident Evil 4, though, I admit. And then I thought about, like, maybe I could play, Save Room. Because I never finished it. I think I played it before I went on my vacation to visit my father. And I got to the very last level and I got stumped, but it was really late at night, and I don't really like it when a game holds me up from actually being able to go to bed. My OCD wants me to be able to complete things in one go, because I don't want to boot that game up and then beat it in 15 minutes and, okay, now it's time to come up with the next game, new thumbnail, this and that. So we're going to be playing more Easy Delivery Co., but I felt like, well, since I might not be talking too much, although I say that, and yet I'm actually pretty vocal right now, I figured I would just play some music from a playlist. I wanted to play, maybe more somber, moody music, because it's kind of nice to relax to. I don't really feel like listening to anything too upbeat or like energetic, like my usual genres. Like I don't want to listen to agrotech or Aerobeat or anything like that. I just kind of want to listen to, I don't know, stuff that makes me feel, I don't know. What would you call this music right here? This isn't what I have planned in mind for the rest of the stream. I actually have a Atrium Carceri playlist prepped up. I really, really like Atrium Carceri. They actually upload quite a bit of content. I was listening to one of their newer things, and I wasn't digging it because it kind of sounds like it's incorporating, I don't know if I would call it quite synthwave exactly, but it's a certain synth pad that you hear in a lot of music now. I think it's supposed to sound retro, but there's something that sounds modern about it. Let me see if I can find it. I can show like a clip of it. Hold on, let that play for a second. Like this I like so far. And Atrium Carceri, I forget their deal, if it's like a group or if it's like one guy. I know that they publish their stuff through Cairo Chamber. Actually, this might not even be... Oh, no, this is Atrium Carceri. It's mixed by him. I don't know if he composed everything. Okay, no, it's like a compilation of a bunch of different musicians. So does Atrium Carceri make his own music, or does he only do like DJ mixes or something? I don't know. I'd have to actually research, and I hate research. I hate thinking. And that's another reason why I don't want to play Save Room right now, because I don't feel like thinking. Although, when I get to a certain point in Easy Delivery, I do have to start thinking. Hold on, listen to this. When it goes that boing. I swear that Resident Evil Requiem, like the Leon segments, kind of dabbles into that. It's actually not bad. It's not like an example of shitty modern music or anything, but I wouldn't say that I'm overly gravitated towards it either. I like his kind of like older stuff. One particular playlist, I think I've played it before. I even maybe have had you guys listen to it in the past, but I'm going to be playing that. And I also wanted to say that while I do have a no mic, I'm okay with talking. I can like respond to anything that anybody wants to bring up, or if they want to like start a conversation. But I'm just gonna put less pressure on myself today, and mostly just focus on being a DJ for you guys. And I guess just put less pressure on myself to entertain, I suppose, and be overly talkative or vocal, which makes me feel bad because, like, I was so high energy for the Crowcat stream. I would love to have kept that energy up, but it's kind of gone, like, complete reversal. I think I had a kind of like a rough day, sort of, but it's going to be okay kind of deal. And my energy is just kind of low, so I just want to, like, vibe, you know? Just want to have a little bit of a relaxy session. And it's an interesting stream genre, the no mic streams. I don't see them too often, but every now and then I see them. And I've done them before in the past, and I kind of like them. They're a little bit fun. I guess because it is a time where I am just explicitly even like warning, like, hey, I'm going to be boring today. I'm not going to really talk much. I'm just going to vibe. And I also enjoy just playing music for people. If you know, I like music. I like music sharing sessions. Even though, depending, like, you know, you can have an entire VOD get muted, but I don't think that's going to be as bad of the case with Atrium Carceri Cairo Chamber stuff. I might have it on the loud side. If you can at least somewhat hear me, I think that's fine, but mostly I want you to be able to hear the music. One thing that I really like is for this game, you are able to mute things individually. And even though the soundtrack is really good for this game, I just feel like playing what I want to play. And I like that I can have the in-game, like, soundscape and interface sounds and the character dialogue, but I can have my own music. It's like I kind of like that. Blood Shadow. Hello. My controller doesn't work. Wait, now it did. Hold on. Oh. My hot drink will keep me warm for the winter. Hi, Chibi. I think I'm supposed to go to Easy Flower. It's always Easy Flower. Crazy. I got this game for Mina, and they didn't finish it. I think it's because Mina thought that the game was too easy. Haha. No, they just didn't like that. There wasn't much stakes, and I think that's fair. I kind of wish that it was an option, like maybe they can add an update later on to add stakes, maybe? Actually, I'll just keep going this way. No initial D delivery today. Although, speaking of delivery driving, I still want to play Snow Runner and Mud Runner. I just have to prepare early for that next time. I think it's fine, though, because since I'm going to get winter costumes, it would be cooler if I used winter costumes for winter-themed games. I'm sorry, I like to accessorize. I like to match based on theming. If you're going to have multiple different costumes, you might as well have a formula for how you use them. It's forcing me to grind for money, and I'm okay with that. Find the lit up storefront. Didn't I already do that? What, do they want this? This is lit up. Oh, hi Psychic, hello. Thank you for the raid. How are you guys doing? We're doing a kind of lower energy stream today.
Names of
Thank you for the follow. Also, can you guys let me know if I have my music too low? I can always turn it up. But, hope that you had a good stream, Psychic. For anybody that doesn't know me, hi, I'm PumpkinSynth. At the moment, I am in my Captain Nessa form. I am a military raptor girl, and my alternate form is a saltwater crocodile girl. And in these forms, I like to play kind of more casual, lower energy games. And then in my big forms, I like to play more like harder core, quote, action-y games. And we're playing Easy Delivery Co., which is a kind of like light little delivery driving game that's very atmospheric, but at the moment we are not playing with its actual in-game soundtrack because I've played it on stream multiple times. So usually once I'm like replaying a game for the third or fourth time, I usually will just start playing my own music or whatever. Did a lower energy stream. Oh, I hope that you guys had a lot of stuff to talk about. But if you have to head out because it's late, I get you. It's okay. Don't worry. Don't worry. But I'm gonna be extra boring today. Normally I try to be higher energy, but every now and then even somebody like me wants to shut the fuck up. Even somebody like me wants to be tamed, obedient, kind, gentle, weak, vulnerable, susceptible to hypnosis. What? Forgot my job. Pick up from Easy Eats. I think that's right here. Does this game fall short of your expectations, or does it easily deliver? It easily delivers. This game is fantastic. Only thing that sucks is towards like the ends, I struggle to navigate, but that's a skill issue on my part. Also, I saw Deep. You said that it felt today during deliveries, except I was also trying to get my acceptance rate up so I don't lose platinum status. That makes me so nervous. Like the idea of a job where you have a score, essentially. That's why I don't even want to do VGen, because I don't want a rating section and somebody give me a 4 and be like, yeah, she was okay, but she's a little weird. Yeah, she did fine, but the eye's a little fucked up. Like, I can't, no, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to know. And then have to maintain like a good status, because I guess you could get fired or something. That would be terrifying. Neat. But good on you. Good on you for doing that. I mean, you probably have the confidence that you're a pretty good worker. I don't have the confidence that I'm a consistent artist, so that's probably why I struggle. I don't want a rating system though. I don't want it. Okay, so let's go ahead and do a new job. I've played this game to completion, I think 2 times, like full playthroughs, and then everything else has just been like optional grinding. That's what's like really fun about this game, is that if you like the formula and you're not necessarily rushing to get to the end of the story, because the end of the story can make it a like 4-hour game, 5-hour game, if I'm being generous. So if you like the formula, oh, thank you for the follow. If you like the formula, boom, you just keep delivering, and it's fun. You can also switch to first-person view if you like that kind of thing. I think it's kind of neat, but for games in general, I typically prefer third-person. It makes things feel immersive in a different way. Like, I can really get a feel for the town and the environment. It's kind of why I like pulled out cameras in general, like fixed camera or isometric games. But when you're playing like this, it's like, I mean, kind of, but something feels a little bit different about it, I guess. I don't know. Maybe I'm just making up bullshit. Nah, I have a point. I'm 100% right. When does it start letting me go out further? Oh, I know what's going on. I'm in the grinding cycle. I'm not doing the quest that I was given. I forgot that I was given a quest. So I'm just gonna deliver from building A to building B right next door forever. Nah, this will be my last one. I just wanna do my job. But Deep, I saw that you had to deliver to like somebody that you know that kind of sucks. That's like scary, but yeah, at least you didn't have to like confront them or see them. Most people like don't like greet you at the door for like a Uber. You could, or if you deliver, you could just like quickly sprint off in your car and run away. Oh yeah, thank you so much. I actually forgot to mention, yeah, we hit 6K on Twitch, but as soon as I announced that, then we started getting unfollowed, and it's kind of been like going up and down, but I think we're back to 6K, but we'll probably lose another one. But essentially, we're at 6K, and thank you very much, everybody, for the support. I do benchmarks in weird spots. I think I have my next one for 8K. I guess I could just make it 10K, but I don't know when the hell we're gonna get there. La 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 la. What's scary is like, wouldn't the client see your name? Maybe she doesn't recognize you. Alright, so now we have a job to go to Upton Easton. Okay, so we're gonna go for a drive now. what I keep hoping for in terms of like running into somebody that I had a bad experience with, that bitch from my old job who was basically kind of like a bully to me and like a really like kind of deranged person, like in like an unfun way, because you could be deranged and fun, but she was deranged and like cringe and extrovert and a bully, and she's like 50 but she looks 80, and she had her hair dyed purple, like purple tips to look hip, I guess. And I keep hoping that maybe one day she'll be my waitress, because like, she ended up quitting the job because the other coworker that replaced me later, I guess, wasn't having any of her shit. Proving that I had a fucking point, and all my coworkers hated her also when I was there, but none of them had the balls to ever tell her. Just me, after bullying me. But I keep hoping that she'll be my waitress one day, and then I'm gonna go say hi to all of her coworkers and tell them that I hate her guts. And then ask what they think of her. But it'll backfire. Stuff like that always backfires. Because you think that everybody will clap and high-five you, but what they'll actually do is be like, are you crazy? Also, I don't see what the problem is. I think she's nice. That's usually how it goes. When you need people to agree with you, that's when they don't. The job otherwise was good, but I also was worried about my hands' health. I had to use my hands for that job. And so that was extra motivation to not work there anymore. But she was just basically just very, very miserable. Oh, I ended up not picking up my food from Eats. Oopsie. But the thing that sucks is you try to go to HR and they don't do anything for you. Like, I basically like officially made a complaint. I even asked for her to be transferred because of the way that she was treating me, and they basically just gave me the middle finger. And it's like, okay, like, I'm not asking for much, like, or I wasn't asking for much before I asked her to get transferred. I just said, like, can you make it to where she stops treating me like shit? She's not my manager. And it's like, they're just so helpless, they don't know how to do that. It was just kind of wild. Space Marine, are you a hot e-girl? Do you want somebody to buy it for you? Hi, Noko, hello. Were you playing more Fallout 3? I'm playing Easy Delivery Co. I actually fucked up and I forgot to pick up my order before going to the destination. You guys would never want me for your Uber driver. I would screw up. Oh, Amnesia. Is it original Amnesia or one of the newer ones? Ooh, I tried to play that game. I actually suck at that game. I'm not really good at first person running away from enemies kind of thing. Like, they have these enemies in the shadows, the water or something. I highly recommend this game, actually. Hold on. So I was playing my own original, well, not my original music, but I was playing YouTube music because I've played this before. But let me showcase some of the soundtrack because it's really good. I just felt like listening to something different. Music should go up here, I think. It's really nice. Hold on. It's got a nice variety too. Like right now, it's kind of this almost elevator music, and then it'll switch to somber piano at times, and then right now it's back to like a drum and bass. Oh, hi Chip, hello. Thank you for the raid. But if anybody has to go, I totally get you. For anybody who doesn't know me, hi, I am PumpkinSynth. At the moment, I am in my Captain Inessa form. I am a military raptor girl. And then my alternate form is a saltwater crocodile girl. And then I have my big forms, which are a Halloween ghost and an eldritch ghost. But you can kind of tell that they are essentially the same. Just one small and reptilian. I kind of like to dabble a bunch of different little projects. I like to play retro games. But I hope you guys had a good stream. But it is late, so don't feel bad if you have to kind of head out. We're doing sort of a lower energy stream because I felt like just vibing, just kind of I don't know, just not turning my brain off. But you know what? I think it's fun because we did have like a really high energy stream last stream. Last stream we were reacting to Cat's second video on Resident Evil 4 Remake. And now my entire Twitter timeline is nothing but back and forth between people who don't want to have that discussion at all and people who do. And it is a little frustrating. I hate how many people I keep seeing that say that that video is nothing but nitpicks, as if like different elements of a game having flaws all adding up aren't like something worth talking about. It's like, I just don't get it. Like, they would have you think that we're complaining about Leon's eye color being one shade too light or something. It's like, nah, man. We have a lot to say about that game. You should watch it. You should react to it. I bet people would like to see that. I will say that his first Resident Evil 4 video was a little bit on the... How do I say? I mean, I think his second video is better. I think it got more descriptive and clear about what the complaints were. I felt like it was a better produced video. His first video was good. I remember liking it, but it just wasn't one of my favorite Cat videos of all time or anything. The new one gets really deep, and it's also more verbal. The first video was mostly... just visual comparisons of, here's this establishing shot of the graveyard in the original. Now here it is in the new one. Whereas the new video, it talks about like gameplay design, pattern, why people don't like the aesthetical changes in the new version. I feel like it's just a lot more valuable. But going back, it's like, I don't think that all the aesthetics and visuals in the new Resident Evil 4 remake are like bad or anything. They're definitely more explicitly spookier, like they're trying to look extra creepy by having like darker, warmer lighting. But where is it going with this? Getting into the nitty and gritty, I love that. That's what I really love about games, is I like dissecting and talking about what makes them feel good or what makes them feel bad or how a game could have been improved, you know? Yeah, like... I like so much stuff about the original Resident Evil 4. I love when it does have atmosphere. I feel like I've always said that Resident Evil 4's atmosphere isn't as good as like Resident Evil 1, 2, and 3 and Veronica and this and that, but it is pretty damn good. And then the remake is just going to the modern Resident Evil minimalist atmosphere where it's mostly soundscape and the music is almost like afraid to get in the way. I mean, there's a lot. My brain's a little bit fried at the moment, though, to get back into to the subject. No, I explicitly sneak Veronica in there. Code Veronica has fantastic atmosphere. Code Veronica is just a roughish game, but I would say that as a game, it's fantastic. And for Resident Evil, I would say it's pretty good. Could have been better. Could have like been left in the oven a bit longer. But it's fine. I can work with like a rougher game as long as it does the key component things that I really need, which is really atmosphere. Like, would I complain about Requiem if it had like the kind of atmosphere that I'm looking for, the kind of audio balancing that I'm looking for? A bit, but I would not be as hard. It's like when you are fucking with one of my favorite things about the genre, you know, I get extra vocal. But in the new Cat, well, actually, Noko, I don't know if you're still there, but are you aware of the controversy that happened with the first Resident Evil 4 video? Like, the main reason why people were pissed? Zero's got good atmosphere, I think. I'm not as attached to Zero because it feels too derivative of the literal aesthetic and vibe of the remake of the first Resident Evil game. Hi, Riot. Hello. Thank you for the raid. I feel like Zero just doesn't stand out from one remake enough, but I do really like it. But unfortunately, because it's just so similar, that's why it's a little bit on the weaker end for me. But so in the first Crowcat Resident Evil 4 video, he made the argument that music and sound design, mainly sound design, is a lot more quiet in the remake. So one prime example that he used is when you are outside, the soundscape and the wind, it feels very faded into the background in comparison to the original Resident Evil 4, where it is very boomingly loud. Like, it basically sounds like you are enveloped in wind. It's in your ear. Just like how music used to be in old Resident Evil. It was in your ear. It was fun. You're playing a video game. It's not trying to make you feel like you're really there or whatever. And so people majorly coped by insisting that he turned up the volume for the original Resident Evil 4 and then lowered the volume for the new one. And they were like, prominent people in the gaming community were calling him a fraud and going with this bullshit and making videos. This is proof that he did it. And then people go back and go, well, this is proof that he didn't. And I just was sitting there thinking that this is stupid because Resident Evil audio has sucked since 7, 8, 2 remake, 3 remake, and it persisted into 4 remake. It's a ongoing thing. And I was pointing that out before Crowcat's video came out. So that's why it was so absurd when people were calling him a liar and majorly coping. It kind of makes me think that did these people like actually pay attention to any Resident Evil games audio? Like ever? When they played like 2 remake and 3 remake, and 7 and 8, did they like only play it one time and they remembered there being audio and music and that's it, and they just didn't really realize what it was actually like? So with his new video, I'm happy to say, because I don't want to spoil it, but I will say that in his new video, he does address it. It's so lame, and it's funny because, I guess doing audio in modern games is a different tech than it used to be, something like that, but we have, like, I'm not to imply that I'm overly fond of the Silent Hill 2 remake. I've actually kind of avoided it because I don't really like how padded it seems to be. But Silent Hill 2 remake, its audio balancing seems to be better. Dead Space remake, its audio balancing was quite nice. Silent Hill F, its audio balancing was nice. Like, it wasn't as good as maybe old Silent Hill.
Names of a friend.
Oh, thank you for the follow. It wasn't as good as old Silent Hill, but it did it well enough. Resident Evil is just falling behind, and it's just so unfortunate because the series started off with having such a memorable soundtrack, even starting with the first game. The first game, it is kind of, it's just melodic, eerie music. And then you have Resident Evil 2, where they're kind of going for Terminator vibes for their soundtrack. It sounds very 90s synth horror, and it's really loud and nice. I don't know the way to describe 3. I guess you could say 3 is derivative of 2, but it goes on, and we even had like recent Resident Evils that had really fantastic soundtracks. Like lately, I've been wanting to praise Revelations. I feel like a broken record, but that's just the autism. But Resident Evil Revelations is kind of like a middle era Capcom game that came out right before the true reform where Resident Evil kind of course corrected and got a bit decent again in the gameplay, because Revelations kind of is mid, but Revelations music, absolutely fantastic. It is everything that I want from a Resident Evil game. Like, if its soundtrack wasn't as good as it was, I would probably write that game off even more, but man, you boot up Revelations, you're in for a good time if you're looking for atmosphere and a video game score. Like, I would say that it's one of the best of the series. And that's kind of crazy to think, right? Like, remember, only old is good and all new is bad. And it's like, nah, Revelations is new. And that was actually fucking good, soundtrack-wise. And then as immediately with 7, there's just nothing. And when there is music, it's faded out. And then the other thing they like to do is if you revisit a room that had music, they just take it away. It's just gone. That's so frustrating to me. But people will have you, people will literally write that off as nitpicking. Like, what isn't nitpicking to these people exactly? Like, what is a valid like, to the people that keep writing off, like, the Corrupt Cat video is nothing but nitpicking, what isn't nitpicking? What is nitpicking to you? I just don't understand, like, what is a valid complaint? Is it the only I bet you know what, I know what it is. The only valid complaint we're probably allowed to make is Ada's voice sucking, which totally, throws off the entire balance of the gameplay, right? Like, the gameplay and the atmosphere and the visuals. Ada's voice sucking, like, that's the reason why we hate the game and struggle with it, right? It's silly. It's silly. It's, like, such a non-issue. Well, it is an issue. It is an issue, but that's the only thing I see that side really concede on. Everything else that we bring up is just us being assholes or something. Even though they shit on Tank Controls to Fix Camera constantly and say that all of our games suck, and now they're just, oh, okay, I'm going through a rant. I don't know if this is honest anymore. This little guy right here. But people are trying to discredit Resident Evil 4 now, like the original, because, you know, masterpiece until the remake comes out, right? Now it sucks ass, and it always sucked ass. The only people that switch that fast are the people who don't reoccurringly revisit the game and who barely ever play it. They just consume and they move on. But I saw one post that argued, yeah, Resident Evil 4's QTEs, let's be real, they sucked, this and that. And it's funny because, I mean, I'm in a similar boat of, I don't particularly like QTEs either. I don't think many of us did, but I don't want, well, I'm not going to pretend like nobody hated the QTEs in Resident Evil 4 during the time it came out, but I do want to say, I assume, based on my feelings and people I've talked to, that the consensus is nobody really hates Resident Evil 4's QTEs. They're actually quite well implemented in the way that they are, you know, blended into the gameplay. Not just like the little cutscene stuff, but like melees and stuff like that. I liked it. I think a lot of us did. The problem, though, is that every game started doing it. Every game felt that it needed to do that, and that's a misunderstand. That's a miscalculation. Let that be Resident Evil 4's thing, and maybe a game or two. But we don't want this to be like a formula of games. We don't want this to be a staple of all games from now on. And I think that we have luckily grown past that. I feel like QTEs have faded away, only lingering around for maybe button context attacks. But aside that, we don't really have to deal with them that much. They seem to have faded away. But I still think that Resident Evil 4's QTEs are completely fine. And they're not as frustrating as, say, Bayonetta's QTEs. Because Bayonetta's QTEs, there is, especially when you're playing for the first few times, there is something that doesn't feel overly clear about the instructions of the QTE that they need you to respond to in the first 2 seconds. So you will just die in your cutscene because you didn't do the right thing. You couldn't read the prompt right. It's like hard to explain. Another thing is they were too demanding of how good you needed to be at performing those QTEs to do your execution moves. Like, to get the max score or max damage on an execution attack, you had to mash like a Mario Party NPC, a Mario Party 1, 2, or 3 NPC. And that's not humanly possible, not for me. Not in my prime and not now, where I got baby arthritis or whatever's happening. And that shit fucking sucks, man. Luckily, Bayonetta 2 course corrected. Bayonetta 2 has it to where you mash the button for the novelty of it, but they're not overly demanding of how good your fingers are, at least. So that's kind of nice. Alright, I go back to game now. Okay, so we have the in-game music. Start a job. Okay. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm gonna go to Upton Weston. And one thing that's so frustrating, I ended up adding it to a comment of my VOD, but Do you ever try to explain something in length and then you go back and you realize that you could have worded it so much better if you just had more time to ruminate on it before spitting it out? That's what's difficult about streaming, is that you are kind of impulsively having to go, what's the term? You're kind of like on rails and you go with the flow and you just kind of have to like splurt out whatever comes into your head and not think about it. Otherwise, you're gonna have too many awkward pauses. Also, hello, Puddle. But I was trying to awkwardly discuss in the my reaction to the second Crowcat video how the reaction to people like me and people who critique beloved games and go against the hype train, that we're just viewed as like these miserable people who are never happy, who aren't doing anything to actually contribute, and this and that, and just shitting over the hard work of very talented people who are working hard and giving it their all. And I feel like I kind of understand why there's that perception, that frustration with us. Like, we don't understand. This is a good game. Why don't you like the good game? It's not a bad game, so why are you not happy? And I feel like a lot of us, maybe we're a little bit assholey, maybe we're a bit pretentious at times, but ultimately I would say that a lot of us mean well, and that we genuinely believe in the critiques that we give of these games, because we feel like they can improve, that they can be even better, that games don't have to regress in some ways when it was nailed in the 90s, like, you know what I mean? Like for example, the atmosphere thing. Like, we had that shit down for the longest time, and now we're regressing. So that's why I continuously keep complaining about it, because I really want Capcom to listen and to change. Because I want to like modern Resident Evil more, and I feel like, at least for me, a lot of the requests that I have, I feel like would not hurt the game for anybody. Like, if, like I mentioned, like if we got a Resident Evil 10, if Resident Evil 10 listened to some of my feedback, I feel like nobody would particularly be unhappy or lament what I am suggesting to be removed, so to speak. But I do understand that some things I don't think people are ever going to see eye to eye. Like, I feel like the music, I want to say the music's an objective issue. But if we go to Resident Evil 4 Remake, regarding the complete lighting change, like, instead of it being more sterile and cold, that now it's warm, is that necessarily an objective, like, downgrade or flaw? Like, I guess it just depends on who you ask. I do think that the architecture and what is the term for how you lay out your environment and its detailing, its furniture, and all of that? Because original Resident Evil 4 would just, it would be so lavish in some locations, like with its knight armor hallway and this and that. It would just look very pleasing to the eye. One of those, like, oh yeah, this screenshot's going on the Twitter aesthetics account for sure kind of deal. And then you look at the remake comparison, and it's just so bland. Like, I don't think anybody would say that the remake nails it. And even remake fans, I don't think all remake fans would say that it nails everything perfectly, but Mr. Ensign? Huh? A game can receive a lot of criticism and still be considered a good game. Yeah, like 100%. Like, and if a game gets criticism, for the most part, I would say that it doesn't mean a game is a 0 out of 10. Like, I would never call RE4 Remake a 0 out of 10. I wouldn't call it a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, a 5, a 6. At the lowest, a 7, and that's being a little bit harsh, I would say. I think a 8.5 might be fair, but 8.5. Whereas I would consider original RE4, I don't like to give 10s very often, but I would give that a 9 or a 10, you know? I think it's okay to, like, still give criticism to good things, because that good thing could have been even better, right? I feel like it's fair. I feel like it's totally fair. And it's boring. It's boring if we're not allowed to talk about stuff like that. Pick up from Easy Eats. Okay, let's lock in a little bit. Oh, right. I haven't been doing a good job managing my energy. So for anybody who's new to the game isn't overly demanding of you. It is somehow a really nice balance of casual, but with a little bit of brain power that you need to use. And by brain power, I mean hardly anything. All you really need to do is manage stamina and cold. Your stamina makes it to where you are walking slower when you're outside in this extreme temperature. But if you are on top of stamina, you are able to walk faster. There's also deliveries that you will not be able to do if you are excessively, you know, like low on energy. Like, oh, you can't carry this big stack of pizzas because you're at 1 bar of energy. And then the other thing is managing gas. If your gas gets to 0 and stays at 0 for a decent amount of time, your truck's heater stops working, and then you start freezing to death in your car. So it sounds like a little bit intimidating, but it's incredibly easy to manage. The other thing is that the map doesn't show you markers of where you are. So to an extent, you need to actually figure out the terrain yourself, like as you keep driving. But it does little things like for example, if this store right here had a delivery drop-off, it would show me a symbol in front of it. That's not a symbol, that's just letting me know that I can go into the door if I wanted to. But I do not know how much... I think I'm right here, by the way. I don't know how much this game is, but I would say it's worth every penny. You know, there's so many games out there that it's sad to be like, yeah, this game that's $20... Oh, thank you for the follow. But it really sucks to be like, yo, this game that's $20 and that the devs will only get a really small portion of, it's so good, but if you want to wait until it's 1 cent, I get it. It's like, no, a lot of these games are worth 20, but so many games are coming out. You've got a budget. I think a big issue is that 7 has become a negative score somehow, if that makes sense. Oh, well, I guess it's because a lot of people struggle, like, I think it's always been this way, but a lot of people struggle to view how any, because, like, a 7, that's like, what, a C? Oh, a C is bad. A 7 means bad. If you give something a 7, it must mean that you hate it, that you don't like it. It's like, nah, not for me anyway. I feel like 7 is very versatile. Versatile or versatile? To me, a 7 can mean that this is a kind of roughish game, and I love it. Or it can mean this is a roughish game, and I hate it. It's a very vague number. But 8 and 9 and 10, that means good. 7 is like the in-between. I think once you get to 6 and 5... 6 and 5 is when I start thinking, like, okay, something's bad. American 7 means mid due to journalist and the school system. It's like... I personally don't think of 7 as meaning mid exactly. I would give 6 and 5s as the mid label. Like, I think, would I give Resident Evil Revelations a 7? Yeah. I would give that a 7. It's like, the things I don't like about it, I really don't like about it. So much so that it drops the score that much for me. And whenever I play games or consume any sort of media or content, if there is a flaw doesn't necessarily mean that I will dock a point. It really depends on what the flaw is and how much it interferes with my enjoyment. Look at that. See, the game's a little bit nice to us. Oh, where am I supposed to go? I always struggle, bro. Wait. Maybe here. 5 should be true mid, but a 5 in video games is basically 3. So our numbers are really off. And then there's, like, lots of people that are out there that if you give, like, their game anything less than, like, a 9.5, they just flip out. They'll, like, want you dead. They want your head on a spike. I think that's the Zelda fans. Nintendo fans. Don't you dare give my game anything lower than 9.5. Maybe I'm going the right way, right? Yay! Have you seen how the peak devs describe numbers? I think about that a lot. I don't know if I have. Could you illuminate for me? I've changed my mind on the 1 through 10 scale. I recently understand 5 is mid, bog standard, bare minimum. Anything less is lean and bad, but anything more is generally positive. Yeah. So, what would you say is the difference, in your opinion, and if anybody else feels like chiming in, totally feel free. What would you guys say is the difference between a game being a 5 and a 6? What is 5 and 6? Oh, let's see. And this is the Peak devs? Okay. The developers of Peak explain pricing. In a player's mind, what does it mean to spend $5? Well, that's $5, but $6? Well, that's still $5. $4 is also kind of $5, he continued. $3 is $2, and $2 is basically free. So we've got these tiers, you know, $12, that's $10, but $13 is $15. And we round that $8, and we found that $8 is still $5. It doesn't become $10. $7.99. That's $5, right? So $8 going to $5 is the biggest differential we can find in price, and so we found it very optimal. It's like a tongue twister for my brain, but it is kind of true. We do round things a lot without even really realizing it. Despite 8 being closer to 10 than 5, $8 is $5. It's like a psychology thing. Isn't that why we have weird pricing in general? Like, we will yeah, it's like a trick, right? Like, okay, this can of soda, I don't know how much sodas cost, but let's pretend it's $7. $7.99. So it's a way to trick your brain into thinking, oh, I'm paying $7, but you're actually paying $8. Stuff like that, right? Hi, Hime, hello. I give a shout out to Hime and Beryl too. Shout out. A 5 is the one where Wesker and Chris yell at each other. A 6 is the one where you bully Ada by telling her to stop hitting herself. Oh yeah? 5 simply means I played through the entirety of the game. 6 means I played through the game with some enjoyment or motivation to do more side missions or achievements. But would you say... So 6 gives you some enjoyment, whereas 5 is you were playing this and you were completely deadpan. You feel absolutely nothing.
Names of a friend.
Oh, thank you for the follow. Would you say that is 5 like at the point where you might even drop a game if it like is at a level 5? It's kind of true. I would not hesitate spending $8 for a decent game, but 9 makes me do a double take. I think it depends for me. For me, it depends on the game, actually. And it also depends on how much it normally is. Like, I think that if I was rich or whatever, I would want to buy all these indie games at their full price. But I can't. So if a game is normally $40 and I see it for like $10 or something like that, I'm very likely to get it, you know? It's shit like that. Just very, very extreme. Because when you have multiple games on your wish list that are all $40 each, and you don't even know when you're going to get around to them, because, I mean, you guys are probably like me, right? You collect games on your Steam, but as for when you make time to get around to playing all of them, it gets overwhelming, because if you look through your Steam purchase history, you find out that you actually bought 100 games in 1 year. Does anybody here actually play 100 games a year? Maybe Beryl does, actually. I'll be real. Maybe Beryl does. Me, though, I actually kind of struggle, but that's the ADHD thing. No summarization of entire games in a single digit. Ha ha ha. Like 1 and 2? Wait, or are we talking about prices? I'd like to think of 6 as pretty fun, but noticeably flawed, and 5 is very flawed, but it has enough moments to be pretty worthwhile. Maybe. I feel like I can't dip under a 7 for the most part. I feel like maybe a 6.5 or something. It really depends, because I wish I could say that if I'm playing like a bad game that I can keep going because it's XD funny, but it really depends on what kind of bad game. Like, if I'm playing like a really shitty jank survival horror Resident Evil ripoff, I could do it. Even if it's like a 6 or a 5, I can kind of do it. As long as you have atmosphere that I like. But then there's games like that SpongeBob Patrick Star game. Oh god, I don't even know what score I would give it. I would give it like a 4. It's just so... It's just a video game. It's got movement. You can jump. It's got visuals. A location. And has a title. Has NPCs. I'm gonna go drink water. The worst part is I took too long to make time to return it. So I'm stuck with it forever. Not even just digitally. I have a physical case. I think I'm going to put acid in it. Like the chemical. The liquid kind. I have arrived. You know, I want to take this as an opportunity to plug my OnlyFans, but most importantly, to plug Severance. Severance is a very good show, and I don't really see a lot of people talk about it, but I'm also under a rock, so I gotta take it with a grain of salt. But I believe that it was available on the Apple streaming service. Yeah. I was actually about to mention specifically you, Beryl, and Hooby, because I'm thinking, like, this gets into things that I think that you would appreciate. But basically, Severance is a show. It has a kind of bizarre sci-fi concept. It's about separating your consciousness into two. One that is your work sona and one that is your free life sona, so to speak. But you are in the same body. However, the lives and memory are completely separate from each other. And they're apparently explicitly inspired by Backrooms, Stanley Parable, this and that. but its humor is better than Stanley Parable. No offense. No offense. I really didn't like Stanley Parable. But Severance, it has a very... How do I describe it? It has a bit of a somber but slightly upbeat tone. It gets into kind of, you know, cynical corpo humor. It's corpo dystopian hell. Is dystopian the right word I want to use? I don't want to throw that word around carelessly. I feel like I'm misunderstanding what that word even means. It has a bit of dry humor. It's a bit absurdist as well, but it's delivered dryly. And I really like its soundtrack as well. It's a very unique show. I think it kind of reminds me of how I felt when I first watched Twin Peaks, where I wasn't sure how I felt at first until it eventually clicked for me. I would recommend going in as blind as you can, though. It's better not knowing too much about how it flows. Also, thank you for the follow. The reason why I didn't like Stanley Parable is because I have a specific trigger about in-game dialogue. I don't like being in a video game and having anybody talking to me. I don't want my player character talking to me. I don't want NPCs walking around with me talking to me. I kind of want to be left alone in my own atmosphere and exploring things and thinking for myself. I don't want my character telling me how I think or this and that. And even though Stanley Parable has a point to it, it doesn't exist just to irritate me. I'm definitely just not its target audience. I also didn't really vibe with its sense of humor too much, or at least how it was delivered, I suppose. I was warned not to play it because everybody who knows me knows that I wouldn't like it. I appreciate the concept as well as I can, but I feel like it's just not for me, you know? Do you think when they get on the elevator, they truly separate into separate people, or it's just the same person in the end? It depends on, I guess, on what makes a person. I don't want to get too into it, because I don't want to spoil it, because I feel like these are things that people should, kind of, like, questions that should pop into their head as they watch it, rather than me, like, give the idea to them. But I could say, who are you without your memories? You know? Does that make sense? What are you without your memories? And basically we're talking about the innies. Oh wait, I have both music pulling up. Hold on. I'm trying to shill Easy Delivery Co. Oh, see this right here? This is because I haven't been staying on top of my energy. I really need to go to a store and buy some coffee. There is an incentive to raise money in this, which is getting upgrades. Said upgrades are like better tires, but that'll get prompted to you contextually via the story. But also, let me think. You are able to get better sources of energy as you go on. And you're able to get some equipment, like being able to, like, make coffee on the go and this and that. My thing that I don't understand is, what do I actually benefit out of a... Well, I guess... I guess it just depends. Everybody's different if they would benefit from disassociating that excessively when they go to work. Because, I mean, I could dissociate on my own, and I also have a phone. I don't know if losing all that time would be that beneficial to me. Or if you're trying to get away from trauma, how do you exactly get away from the trauma? You don't. You have trauma, and then you go to work, but it's like a blink of an eye, because then you are suddenly in the elevator and leaving work, right? So you have like one split second of not thinking about your trauma, unless it's like they mentioned something like when you come into work, it might feel like you feel happy, And it's like, well, why would you feel happy? And it's like, well, probably like a chemical thing. Like your outie has been having a good time, and the dopamine is maybe still in the system, but it feels like a very rough deal that mostly benefits the corpo, but I think that's kind of the point. We're talking about Severance, but Severance is not going to make any sense unless you actually watch it. And I don't mean just you. I just mean, like, anybody who's listening to this conversation. I would totally recommend watching Severance. Directed by Ben Stiller a lot of the time. I think he directs about at least 65% of all the episodes. So we're going to Easy Eats. But, oh, while we're here, I'm going to try to go to the depot. Oh, no, I've been littering. See that vignette? I'm gonna die. I can make it, 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 I can make it. Oh, phew. High law, huh? Yeah, Ben Stiller, in terms of him as an actor, I'm mostly familiar with him playing the insane little dude in Dodgeball, and he did fantastic. He was very hammy, very unhinged. And he also plays, I think, the, like, he's like straight man character in the Night at the Museum films, if I recall correctly. Kind of like boring and forgettable to me. I've never overly cared about that movie, but I haven't seen it in a long time. Maybe I'm underestimating his performance in that. But to me, I remember him just being like a straight man kind of character that comedies sometimes do, to where they're normal and everything else is wacky. But he also directed Cable Guy with Jim Carrey. Unfortunately, I don't like it as much as I used to. Going back to it, it's like, oh yeah, this is more 90s than I remembered, but not necessarily in a good way. As much as I love the 90s, I don't love everything about the 90s. But maybe I need to watch it again, I don't know. But I used to love it, like, when I was a lot younger. Like, the part at medieval times always killed me. I thought that shit was hilarious. But Cable Guy is kind of interesting because it is a comedy, but it's kind of like a dark comedy. It's really fucked up. It's basically about a parasocial cable guy that gets really, really, really attached to the main character. And he's insane, like actually insane. One of the best parts is like Jim Carrey. I think it was a nightmare sequence that the main character was having. Let me try to see who the actor was. I know I recognize him. Cable Guy. Matthew Broderick. So Matthew Broderick is having a nightmare that Jim Carrey is trying to get into his apartment. And Jim Carrey, like, they keep doing, like, really insane fucked up lighting. They give, like, Jim Carrey demonic eyes. He starts, like, mimicking a velociraptor and shit. And does, like, there's, like, a chase sequence to where he's just doing insane hand motions. It's very, very good use of Jim Carrey's skillful body language humor. That is something that Jim Carrey has always been very good at, is using his body to make you laugh. Or come. Howdy, whippersnapper. Pizza. That's from Cable Guy. And also, I think, Star Trek. It's like, I don't think that anyone was supposed to watch Ace Ventura when they were a young little boy or girl. But I did watch Ace Ventura when I was a young little boy or girl. I always like the second one more. So, I'm right here. Oh, wait. I want to go to the depot. Hi, Ark. Hello. But yeah, it's always kind of interesting, right? Because, you know, you think of Ben Stiller and you think he can do one thing. But a lot of people are very, very versatile. Not everyone is, though. I think that there are some creators that aren't able to successfully branch out of what they know very well. Like, they'll try, but Ben Stiller, I mean, when you watch Severance, like, just, it doesn't really scream like whatever the stereotype of Ben Stiller is. And then there's also wait. Who directed Tropic Thunder? Is that I don't think it is. Hold on. It is Ben Stiller. What else has he done? I actually don't know much on the top of my head about Ben Stiller. Just kind of like things that I picked up on. Movie will not be accepted. No. Things used to be way edgy. Edgy would leak into everything. Like, it would be a movie that's not even explicitly edgy brand, but it would have edgy, like, casual humor in it. Certain words would pop up, or certain types of, kind of, like, offensive jokes. Zoolander, 2001. Oh, I keep seeing stuff about that. I should watch it. Something About Mary. I've heard about that, but I don't like romance comedies. Meet the Parents. Wait, oh, I've heard of these. I don't think I've ever seen them, right? Like, yeah, I've never seen these. Barbara Streisand, Dustin Hoffman, Owen Wilson, Robert De Niro, Ben Stiller. I recognize a load of those names. I haven't, you know what's sad is Dodgeball used to be like my favorite comedy when I was young. I watched it so many times on repeat. I feel though, like, because of that, because of the sheer amount of how much I've rewatched it, and also just being a lot older and my taste and humor shifting to preferring a different kind now, I worry that I would watch Dodgeball and just feel nothing. That I just would not, you know. But, I mean, that's just how it is. It's one of the reasons why I especially don't like to even watch comedies at all. It's because I usually don't think that I'm even going to like them, but also feel like I outgrow them too easily. And that makes me sad. I don't want to be that way. Ben Stiller, for some reason, occupies the same part of my brain as Adam Sandler. Adam Sandler, I just cannot get into him. Like, everybody says that he has, like, a few good movies, and maybe he does, but my problem is that there is something chemical, like some kind of reaction I have whenever Ben Stiller is an actor, and I just am never able to get over it. I just always feel very kind of like, ugh, like I kind of don't like him. I don't mean that, but I don't mean to be that way. I'm very sorry, Adam Sandler, VTuber fan who watches VTuber streams. I just don't know. I think everybody has somebody that they're like that with. Voices that trigger them, or something about mannerisms. And Ben Stiller's just, Adam Sandler's just always been that way. Sorry if I accidentally said Ben Stiller during that. I meant Adam Sandler. We're going to Easton. Adam Sandler, he's a very charismatic person, but there's something about his charisma archetype that I'm not sure about. And I wouldn't say it's necessarily because he screams to be funny or whatever. It's something else, but I'm also going off of old memories. Maybe I was just being weird and young when I would see him. Maybe I should give him another chance, but I don't think I'm really missing out by not head to Easton. What's the bar? Oh, cafe. I think I can get coffee here. I think I hear typically that people say that, or no, it's Red Letter Media's theory that Adam Sandler and his friends are doing like tax write-offs. That's why they make like these garbage shitty movies or don't care, is because it's mainly a tax thing. I don't remember if they said that they were self-aware that their movies were ass and they don't care. It would be kind of funny, like if they intentionally were just flipping a middle finger like to everybody who buys the movie, tax people, and just like deliver like garbage, and they just think it's some kind of like funny joke or something. I think that would actually be kind of amusing, but okay. So coffee can stack a bit. I thought coffee couldn't. I've mainly seen Adam Sandler in passing, but in terms of actually watching a movie, The Love Guru, like the movie where it felt like he was trying to be sort of like doing a character kind of like Borat or something, right? I remember I actually saw it in theaters. I don't know who the hell took me to it, but I wasn't vibing. As a kid, I really liked Borat, though. I had no idea what anything was about. I didn't know anything about, like, the political aspect of it, which is kind of funny, but I just, I thought the funny man was funny. He's so silly. And then kidnapping Pamela Anderson was pretty cool. Think I might emulate that. What do you think? Oh, there it is right there. Yo! Yo! So we have duct tape. If you want to immersively tie your luggage down, instead of it flying all over the place, you can do this, but it's completely optional because it doesn't matter if your pizza box flies around. It doesn't even matter if they all fall off. If you just pick it up from the road, put it back in your car, it's like nothing happened. It's just more stuff that makes it kind of like a casual, sort of simple experience. I'm gonna grind before I buy anything. I'm still like, oh wait, I don't think I have a job. Wait, this is empty. Let me throw this away really quick. Whenever you're in this camera perspective, your vision is very limited. Frustratingly so. But I guess maybe they just want you to be vulnerable or something, I don't know. This game would be more realistic if you harass people until they give you a tip, if only. Alright, let's start a job. So we do have a main quest that we're supposed to do. We need to raise enough money so we can buy the slider. That slider gives us the ability to give us a bit of extra warmth so we can stay outside longer. But it has its limits, you know. It's just a little bit of a boost. Okay. Let's see. Pick up from Easy Eats. Okay, so we're going basically all the way back. Wait, there's no way I can connect, right? Like, if I keep going... Yeah. It's like a one-way. Did I restart? In terms of, like, did I restart today? No, but I have played the game from the beginning to end before. I'm just kind of replaying again. I'll say one thing that's bumming me out, and I mean, I guess I shouldn't be surprised. It's not that I'm not enjoying X-Files, but I can already tell that I am a little bit demotivated because X-Files does what shows do that I am not fully compatible with, which is the episodic nature. It's not that there's not a sort of overarching plot, I guess, or at least I heard that eventually becomes that, something regarding their romance or, like, finding his sister or something. But for the most part, every episode is kind of, like, disconnected from each other. It's just two investigators, and, you know, they're very charismatic. They work well as a duo. Their scenes and chemistry are very fun to watch. The presentation is nice. Music score is nice. But once my brain starts cluing in that episode 1 doesn't have anything to do with 2 and it doesn't matter, and episode 3 and 4 have nothing to do with 2 and 1 and it doesn't matter, like, once I catch on to that, I just lose a little bit of motivation to stay on top of it, which is kind of why I ended up kind of pushing over to going back to Severance instead, because Severance is shorter but it's more compact and it has like a main focused plot. Now, that's not to say I'm not going to continue with X-Files. Like, I believe that, even though episodic is not normally my thing, that I can enjoy an episodic IP. But, one, I will struggle to prioritize it, and two, I'm pretty sure that there's no way I would be able to get past, like, 4 seasons at most. You know? Especially if it doesn't pick up on a main plot at some point, which is possible. That was a big issue I actually had with Diamond is Unbreakable. That's what you call it, right? Part 4 of JoJo, where you have part 1 that is about the relationship of Dio and Jonathan, and it's very fast-paced and it's a very short part. And then you go to part 2. Also fast-paced, short part, very focused. 3, same thing. Well, kind of. 3 has a main plot. They're on a journey, but they drag it out and pad it out with a bunch of episodic incidences. But it does things in the way that I kind of need. Whereas part 4 starts off with, what is the point? Everybody's just crazy. Not that I wasn't enjoying it. And hell, even Yu-Gi-Oh! Starts that way. And I love Yu-Gi-Oh! Yu-Gi-Oh! Used to not have a plot either. And Yu-Gi-Oh! Is inspired by JoJo Part 4. But with Part 4, and Yu-Gi-Oh! Technically, they eventually do get to a plot. The plot in 4 being Kira, I think his name was. The hand guy. And I ended up really digging it. And then, in hindsight, going back, I really liked, like, oh, it's kind of cool. You built up your world, your cast, before you did the main plot. Now I'm able to kind of appreciate it overall as a whole package. And same thing with Yu-Gi-Oh! Oh, we're going to eat. Also, is the ad playing? Oh, the ad's about to end. Hold on, I'll respond, because I know they're new, so I don't want to respond when they're not here. Are we back? Are we back? Hello, hello, hello? I think the ad just ended. Used to love X-Files as a show I randomly caught from time to time on TV, but I struggle to binge it these days. Is that the key? Is that the key? Where whenever people were watching, like, a new episode, like when it's coming out, it would be, what, an episode a week? That's manageable compared, I guess, to, like, how, I would be doing it now, which is watching all episodes every single day or something. But even then, episodic is episodic. And, I've always been this way, even since I was young, with Pokemon. I was literally very, very young. I had no reason to move on from Pokemon age-wise. I was perfectly at the right age for it. And yet, hold on, let me focus. Okay, I'm going to Weston. I just realized, once they got rid of Misty, and I think they got rid of Brock too, and they brought in May and her brother, and Ash is still there, then it clicked that there's no point to anything. Nothing matters. You don't even, like, keep your main cast. You're just going to swap them out. And they would continue with that trend, which is the craziest thing. I dipped out so early, and then they just replaced May and her brother, and then they bring in somebody else, and then they replace that new girl, and they bring in another one, and then they replace that girl, and they bring in another one, and there's no point. They're not trying to catch all the Pokemon. They're just wandering around. Jesse and James do the same thing every single episode. They lose. And then return to status quo after. And if you like that kind of thing, more power to you. But I really don't. I want Ash and Misty to get together. I would have loved that. I thought that they were obviously the greatest pair. The other girls, from what I gather, they just didn't have the feisty chemistry with Ash to make their interactions funny or entertaining. Like all the other girls, even if they had a little bit of sass to them, they just weren't on the level of Misty to really give Ash a hard time, because Ash is kind of an asshole and an idiot sometimes. And Misty's a little bit of an idiot at times too. It was kind of like fun. It just shows that us women are nothing but accessories. Shake my head, shake my head. And the best accessory has been gone for a long time. Misty. Sucks everything is bingeable now because I remember before people would talk about the episode that came out every week. Kind of feel like that is gone mostly. Oh, you mean like there's never a period in time to where people have nothing to do except talk about the one episode? Go to Weston. Am I Easton? I think I am in Weston. I think I'm not. I'm just not locking in. Right? Go to Easton. Loved season 1 Pokemon, but after that, I don't know. I wasn't as attached as more of the original cast was swapped out. Yeah, it's just, I think it was a mistake. I think, as I often say, a big thing that Pokemon did wrong, in my opinion. I mean, obviously the anime is incredibly successful, and with the kind of formula they go for, it is easy to make new episodes forever. They never have to stop because there's no actual point. Where am I? If they followed along the game storylines more tightly, or if they, you know, adapted the manga, which is trying to adapt the game storyline. But the problem with that is that they are stories with beginnings, middles, and ends. And they have casts, and it's not the same cast every single game story. And so eventually they would not have anything new to do. You know, they can't really drag it out. I mean, I guess they could add filler, but you'd basically have, you would have gotten a, I guess a little bit of a multitude of, multiple different, medium to short length stories. And that's just not going to work. They need to have 8,000 episodes. And you know, it's funny, until now, I never even knew why they didn't try to go the, adapt games and manga story route. I wish they did, but I never knew why until I just realized, oh, it's because it needs to be episodic. Episodic means 5,000 episodes. Episodic means that you don't have to make any changes ever. Because nothing matters. Episode 1 doesn't matter to episode 2. Not to say that there's, like, I don't want to, like, discredit Pokemon or any episodic series and not act like there's never anything that's persistent. Like, there's, like, arcs for characters and some storylines, like Charizard. Yeah, like Charizard, like he's with these, I don't know, he's with Ash at one point, and he was raised as a Charmander, and then he moves on, and then he goes to live with this herd of Charizards. Like, there's like little stuff like that, but it's just not enough for me. It's just not focused enough for me. It's just too blatantly episodic with some persistency kind of sprinkled in, but that's just not enough to keep me engaged. And it's not even like because I'm a Pokemon hater or anything, because like by all means I should like X-Files like a ton, and I guess I do like X-Files more than Pokemon, but I still don't like it enough to like binge it much. Time to start a job. It's because in one of the original mangas, Misty ends up with Ash at the end of it, but they took it out in later ones. So what, they got together and they just retconned it or something? It was hilarious to think Ash would never ever achieve his goals because that implied the series ended. Thank God they put Ash to rest. Oh yeah, Ash is gone. Ah! Wow! Like, they finally got new characters. Which is smart because, you know, there's like new kids that get born every day, and there's like kids born now who don't know who Ash is. So you don't have to cling to Ash forever. I mean, you might upset the 40-year-olds that are still watching, I guess. But I think if a 40-year-old still watching Pokemon, I don't know. I feel like they need to like it for more reasons than just Ash. I mean, what good is Ash? But then again, if it was just Misty, the Misty show, maybe then I would empathize more and understand being attached to it at age 40 or something. I accept Ash Passion because the new pro tag has that hot cat Pokemon now. Not a furry. Hashtag not a furry. You're so real for that. I don't know if I know what that cat looks like, though. Easton. I'll also say, because I don't know how long people are going to stick around, I will mention that the game is entirely snow-based. It doesn't ever have any weather changing. So if you like this vibe, it's pretty consistent. I do really wish, though, that there were spin-offs of this formula. Like, I want this exact game, but, like, rain. I want this exact game, but autumn. You know? It's also bipedal and the same size as humans for some reason. You know why. I have no idea where I am. I can't figure it out. I'm a little bit confused. Hold on. We're at Easy Pizza? Like, am I in Easton or am I in... I can't tell if I'm, like, in Upton. Hold on. If I go here, I'll figure out where I am. It makes sense, though, that we would get, like, more humanoid-esque Pokemon because we always had human-esque Pokemon. Just a few. And since they keep milking out Pokemon, also, I am here now. I'm, like, here. Because they keep mass-producing 5,000 Pokemon every single gen. They gotta keep coming up with the ideas, so we're gonna get more and more humanoid shit. Pokemon probably won't grow up unlike Digimon that somehow has the characters talk about jobs and stuff. Yeah. Oh, hi Anya, hello. Thank you for the raid. How you guys doing? We're playing a little bit of Easy Delivery. Yeah, we're talking about Pokemon a little bit. So I was mainly segued into Pokemon because we were discussing how I don't have much affinity for episodic nature IPs, which is why I haven't been as in love with X-Files as I wish that I would be. I usually kind of like more condensed storylines with a main focus, a goal, so to speak. With Digimon, though, Digimon growing up, I guess, is cool, but Digimon's not as, like, mass-produced and milked in the way that Pokemon is, right? So Digimon, I don't know. Oh, yeah, didn't they do, like, a remake of Digimon? Like, the original? I don't know if that's out yet, but I heard something about that. Digimon is, like, the IP that I should have got into after I moved on from Pokemon, but I rarely caught it. The only time I got into Digimon, and I really did like it, was Gen 3. I don't know if you call it Gen 3. It was the third Digimon, where they had they scans the Digimon from paper or something. I thought it was really cool. That's where Renamon is from. Renamon, the sex icon for the furries. Oh, have a good night. And don't worry, I won't crash. I am a super awesome driver in the video game. But I recently did get back into Pokemon a tiny bit, or I kind of tried. Because I've been, like, I cold turkeyed it. I just dropped it and I moved on for a very long time. But I think that Pokopia started looking cute. I'm like, you know what? Pokemon, you know, I guess I could kind of dabble in it casually. I just won't get every single gen that comes out. Like, I'll just get whatever looks good. And I gotta say, I saw more gameplay of Pokopia, and I'm very frustrated, man. It's just so blatantly copying Animal Crossing, New Horizons. And that's fine and all, but they just take it a little bit too far. Like, to the point where I'm like, I don't want, like, I do want more Animal Crossing, but can you give it, like, a unique aesthetic spin? Which, you know, they do have Pokemon, but the music even sounds like Animal Crossing. And Pokemon is an IP that's really well known for having pretty damn cool music, wouldn't you say? So it's a little bit disappointing that it's like, ooh, a Pokemon game. I'm gonna get some Pokemon music. Oh, it's Animal Crossing music. You know what I mean? I don't have a Switch 2 though, but I ended up revisiting Pokemon Ruby because for stream I did play Pokemon Yellow and Silver on stream a tiny bit before I got bored and moved on. Then I went to Sapphire because I always played Ruby, and Sapphire's a really pretty game. I think that it is the prettiest of the original three, even though I find aesthetic value in all three original Pokemon games. Ruby is whenever they really nailed it with the attention to detail. It's like the best that it got at that time, I guess. But I mean, that's normal. Like, tech was improving so rapidly that any sequel to anything would just look crazy different than the previous, you know? But I had fun revisiting Sapphire, and I only streamed a little bit of it on stream. The most that I played of it was actually in Discord. We did like sort of social hangouts in the server where I streamed it and everybody just kind of chilled with me on voice chat and we just talked about Pokemon. And then I got that Pokemon A to Z game that people kind of complained about. And I was hoping to like it, but the opening just drags out so much. It was kind of miserable. Opening as in the, how do you say, the hand-holding they do before you actually feel like you could play the game at your own pace. It always felt like you were railroaded. For the longest time, it was very frustrating. I don't remember if Pokemon Arceus or whatever was quite as aggressive on that front. I should be right here. We're going to Weston. Personally, I don't agree with the people who say Ash was cheated by the guy who had 2 legendaries on his team because the amount of legendaries Ash spent a decent amount of time around before that fight and not trying to catch them is on him. That just sucks. I guess he's supposed to be like... He's like you! Sometimes he gets some wins, but ultimately, he's a youngster and he has a long ways to go. Or something like that. Also, Ash fucking cheated and poured a bucket of water on Onyx. I'm pretty sure that he also... Didn't he do something to cheat against Misty's sisters or something? Like to win? Granted, that was the beginning, but... Ash is a silly character. He's a very silly boy. Oh, right, and then I started thinking like, oh, Ash's voice actor was, like, very endearing and charming. Like, I loved Ash's voice. One of the best younger character voices of anime dubs. And, of course, Misty as well. Although Misty sounds the same no matter what she does. Although, same with Ash's voice. They kind of sound similar whenever they pop up in different projects. But, unfortunately, Misty's voice actor passed away very recently, and sometimes I think about that. How sad that is, because, I mean, she just made the childhood for a lot of people. Yeah, I believe she died within the last 3 years, but don't quote me because my sense of time does get distorted. I sometimes underestimate, how long ago somebody actually did pass away. There was a remake in 2020, I'm assuming of the Digimon, right? Was blessed with a goated Latin America Spanish dub. Love their voices. Kind of neat when you think about how there's actually lots of different dubs out there. I haven't heard too much of other dubs. Mainly, I've heard, of course, like, just English, and then the other English Yu-Gi-Oh! Dub. I believe it's Singapore? Right? Something like that, but there's another Yu-Gi-Oh! English dub, and it's on the level of 4Kids. It's like... It's ridiculous. They make Merrick sound like it's a Texas girl. And then both Yugis sound like surfer dudes. It's absolutely batshit insane. Easton. To Easton. Weston, I think, is behind me. Ooh, but I would like to get some coffee. Like, look at my energy. Not sure if dubs have gotten worse over time or if I didn't know better when I was younger. So, dubs are always a mixed bag. Now and then. You will get, especially like side, like extra characters that quote don't matter, like villager NPCs and shit. You'll get like the roughest, like fake artificial voices, dudes trying to sound like gruff villagers and shit like that. Or random thug characters where they just do like sinister laughs and they sound very artificial and fake. But you will get pretty good voices in every gen. I think I prefer older dubs though because the quality of voices you would get would be a bit more unusual and varied than what we get now. Now it kind of feels like, for the most part, things feel curated to be a certain way, like kind of like homogenized way of doing anime voices. And that's not always bad. Some voices, like Funimation people, whatever, can sound pretty good. But I think that older dubs would, they would get people who just sound like regular people. They don't sound like they're doing I'm doing an anime voice. Come on, let's go. Like, you know, less of that. You get people that almost sound like they're phoning it in even. But there would be something that's very charming about how their voice sounds. Like it's just a nice voice. It sounds like a real person with real mannerisms and inflection, right? If you want to hear stuff like that, I'm pretty sure it's Funimation actually, but you know, Yu Yu Hakusho has some pretty good voices. Some of them do sound a little bit like artificial, but they'll still even be good. I think artificial sounding can be fine. It just depends on the kind of voice. Like Deku is unacceptable. I just cannot stand with voices like him. Um, Yusuke from Yu Yu Hakusho sounds good most of the time, but sometimes he can sound a little bit anime, mainly when he's screaming, but I think that's because he doesn't actually want to damage his throat, and he probably doesn't want to peek the mic. But, you know, you hear, like, Hiei's voice actor, and he's done other voice work. He voices Dr. Stein in Soul Eater. He also voices, I believe it's Android 17, or is it 18? I forget which one is the blonde. I think it's 17. It's a black-haired one. Um... What else? What else? Yeah, Berserk has a very good dub voice. I'm pretty sure that Guts' voice is one of the Zoros. I don't know if it's 4Kids Zoro voice or if it's Funimation Zoro voice. Because 4Kids One Piece dub is infamous, but the voice actors themselves are not actually bad. It would be their scripts and the directing that would make them bad. So like Nami's original voice was actually fine. So was Zoro. It was Sanji that was rough. Usopp, mixed bag. It just depends on the person you ask. But I thought Usopp was like fine. And then Sanji's the other hated one. Like Sanji. Oh wait, I already said that. Luffy, I think, was divisive. Yet, despite saying that, the Funimation voice kind of tried to mimic that voice. So. And remember, autism, so I'm a bit of a broken record, but Devilman Lady Dub, really good voices, very good at somber delivery. And then obviously Inuyasha. Inuyasha, I think, is unanimously agreed on being a very fantastic, above average dub. Give me that coffee. Damn, I actually lost my stamina really fast. I think the issue with dubs is sometimes they don't fit the character, like a lot of the people like Freyren dub, but her voice doesn't fit the character. It does happen every now and then. I remember Gasai Yuno's dub voice was just really weird. They made her sound like a mommy, and that's not the point of her. She's supposed to be kind of infantile semen, but very, you depend on her. She's actually, like, the badass that you rely on, and also she's BPD or whatever the fuck is wrong. Well, I know what's wrong, but I don't want to spoil it. Hi, Lobotomy. Hello. Oh my god, is that purple checkmark Lobotomy Bunny? Whoa. You're so sexy. I feel like I am one of the few that actually typically is able to break into most dubs. I have a sort of high tolerance for them because I'll kind of tune out what I don't like and focus on what I do. Like, trying to think. I even like Naruto's dub. Naruto's dub is pretty good. Even Naruto is fine. It would just be certain quirks the voice actors would do, like trying, like, I always complain about this, but Sasuke trying to sound, like, legit by calling Naruto Naruto with, like, a D. And it stands out because they don't all do that. It would just be him. But a lot of the Naruto voices are actually really, really good in my opinion. But I also, you know, I'm more used to the Japanese versions. Or I used to be. I actually started listening to the dub for the most part. You know, I don't know. I actually feel like Naruto's voice is not bad. I don't hate it. And I know that you're probably not, like, factoring in just the believe it meme. Like, that always sucked, but in terms of the voice quality, I still stand by thinking that Naruto's voice is, like, I mean, how else should it sound, really? But then again, I mean, that's stupid to say. Like, I would have to hear another, like, proposal for a Naruto voice, I guess. Head to Weston. Where am I? I remember there was a time I didn't like Shiki's dub. I even thought, like, a few voices were absolutely atrocious, but then it grew on me. Okay, so I'm going to deliver the package in Weston. Gaara, Sasuke, Shikamaru, and Kakashi had great voices. They did. I'm trying to think of who my favorite, like, who my favorite? Shino. Shino's second voice. Shino had a different voice at first, and they did not fucking care, man. They got a guy to sound like a aggressive surfer for Shino for some reason. I guess they just didn't realize that, like, Shino was going to be an actual character, at least for a little bit. But I love Shino. And I like, Kiba's voice. I think Kiba's voice is great. Where am I? Depot. I am maybe here? Has this game made your sense of direction better, or were you always good at it? I got lost in this game a lot. I've played it multiple times. I'm only okay in the first, like, 2 biomes. Once you get to the 3rd one, I start struggling a lot. Everyone deserved better in Naruto, but it's the Naruto anime that fucked up Shino. Shino was, like, a genuinely respectable character. In the manga, he was just a minor character. The anime turned him into an actual joke. And I don't mean Boruto. I mean, like, actual, like, Naruto Shippuden. But that's why, I fucking hate anime adaptations a lot. Especially when it comes to, I mean, the old style back in the day when they would adapt a shonen manga. They would just pad it out. And it would usually not be for the best. But, animes go in and alter in a character's personality because they need to do filler and they feel like they need to develop the characters more. But by doing so, they will break the character. Like, Shino. I know, I'm so autistic, I'm sorry, but I'm still mad. Shino is supposed to be a confident, but stoic and quiet and mature individual who, that's it, really. That's all he needs to be. You don't need to have baggage. You don't need to have some big, giant personality flaw to be a human being or interesting. But they felt like, oh, well, we need to add more Shino scenes. What do we do with this guy? I mean, there's nothing wacky about him. And so they go, remember that one time, for a joke, he was a little bit upset that Naruto didn't recognize him? What if we made that his entire character? And why did they do that? Because I guess they felt like that's the most emotion he's ever shown. So they're like, oh, that's it. That's his personality. He's insecure. And so for the entirety after of Shippuden, he would just keep making or making little bitchy pussy remarks about being forgotten all the time. Completely stripping away his dignity as a character. Because the anime adaptators, I don't know, I guess they're normie. I guess they don't know nuance and they don't understand that some characters are allowed to be subtle, simple, whatever. That's okay. That's okay. Just ruin one of my favorite characters ever. Forever. That's okay. I like it even. I hope they ruin more. Oh yeah, the infamous Naruto filler. I never liked any of it because it always felt very like, this is not written by a mangaka. This is written by like a council or something. But it's like, all right, it's cute. It's like, I kind of wish the manga did do that, where instead of getting straight to, like, and it's funny, because, like, normally I'm vouching for, like, getting to the point, but the point is Sasuke, and fuck Sasuke. But instead of, like, focusing on, like, doing a time skip immediately, they could have just had, like, the characters, I guess, growing and having arcs, but understandably, they wanted to focus their plot. It is very difficult to write a story and give equal love to a cast of 80 or whatever. You have your main cast and you have your supporting cast. And the main cast is the focus. The downside is that the main cast actually kind of... It's not that they sucked exactly, if I'm being fair. They just weren't as cool as all the other characters. Or they didn't match... Like, the story didn't match up to the potential that it could have. But it's very understandable that they focused on Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura. Like, it always was about them. Well, I say biomes as in like area. Like, I don't really mean the word biome, but the first area is the easiest to navigate. So if you play the later ones, it does get harder. And I feel like if you don't like how the navigation makes you feel, you don't have to play. Like, it's actually a weakness of mine too. But the vibes and the gameplay loop were able to kind of override my natural aversion to like a navigation game, I guess. It's also very simple, but I'm glad that you at least tried it. Head to Easton. A lot of Western actors will do something like this. I don't think the character should be like this and go another direction. It really annoys me. I don't know how many panels of voice actors I sat in, they said that line, sure buddy, ignore the entire work of an author mangaka. I feel like that is the case sometimes, but in this, it's in the original Japanese script. It's there in the animation, so I don't think it's a Western thing, at least in the situation of the Naruto dub. Also, hello, hi Camilla, thank you so much for the raid. How you guys doing? We're talking about Naruto. I actually like Naruto. Only the first part, though. And Shippuden. Shippuden was genuinely, like, fine. I kind of wish that Sasuke killed Sakura, though. But shonens don't do risky, ballsy moves. They don't have Naruto and Sasuke kiss. They just... The status quo, being boring, whatever. Even the alien mother... Are you talking about the final boss of the third Ninja War? That is the worst. Oh God, you're gonna get me started on my hatred for the final arc of Naruto. That third Ninja War arc just drags. and drags. It just never ends. It is so fucking bad. And they're just like, this ain't even my final form. Actually, I'm not the real boss. That's the real boss. Oh, I'm not the real boss, actually. That's the real boss. And it's some chick that we've never seen before. No hints or, what do you call it when you hint to something? You hint early. Oh, foreshadowing. No foreshadowing. Hi, Faultier. I am doing well, actually. We're talking about, I don't know, whenever I play the driving games, we do a lot of yapping about animes and stuff. Thank you also again for the raid. If you guys have to head out because it's late, I totally get it, but I do hope that you had a good stream. If you do have time, would you want to share what you guys are up to? I'm just kind of curious, but for anybody who doesn't know me, hi, I'm PumpkinSynth. I am in my Captain Nanessa form at the moment. I am a military raptor girl, and my alternate form is a saltwater crocodile. But I have a big form set of the same characters, but taller, and their theming is Halloween
Names
and
of
Eldritch.
friends.
Oh, thank you for the follow. But they're kind of like the same character, just kind of alternate universe. You know, us VTubers, we like to have different forms and chibis and be hot dogs and stuff. But again, thank you so much for the raid. Personally, only watched Dragon Ball and One Punch Man in the beginning of Bleach, but I can respect Naruto. So, do you mean Dragon Ball as in Dragon Ball, or do you mean the Dragon Ball IP including Dragon Ball Z? I actually am, I don't know, I've never been able to, I haven't felt drawn to One Punch Man. I see it around, I've glanced at it, but I never really go, oh yeah, that looks like it's for me. But I did get really into Mob Psycho in comparison. I loved Mob Psycho a lot. I like its manga, and I think the anime adaptation's really good as well. I do feel bad for the One Punch Man fans, though. Their anime is getting screwed. Like, how cruel is that to get, like, an amazing season 1, and then the rest is just, like, inconsistent and just budget and trash. Almost like, don't even bother adapting the rest of it. Like, I know there's some people that are like, well, any adaptation is better than none. It's like, I don't know, if I was a One Punch Man fan, I would be like, you know what, I wish you never made another season. Just leave it at 1, and then read the manga. But, I like Bleach a lot. I only fuck with the Bleach manga, though. Bleach is part of that era whenever they would add filler and drag things out and change things. So from what I've seen of the Bleach anime, I'm just like, you know what, I think I'm just gonna stick with the manga. Although they did have that new season that adapted the final half. I'd be okay with watching that. Where am I right now? Oh, time to start a new job. Played a few things. We ended up with some Pokopia. I was actually talking about Pokopia earlier. I was complaining that it sounds too much like Animal Crossing. I wanted like a Pokemon soundtrack. I haven't played it yet, but like I glanced upon it. Funny how Mob Psycho got such a good adaptation, but not One Punch Man while being more popular. I feel like, I'm trying to think like what happened. I guess Mob Psycho was just more of a passion project, like the studio that initially did it just wanted to keep doing it. I'm not sure what happened with season 1 of One Punch Man, because it was Madhouse, right? Why did Madhouse not want to continue with it? Like, that's the problem, is that Madhouse doesn't want to continue with it, so no matter what you get after it, it's probably not going to match up, right? I don't know what studios they're going to, though, for it, but the other season, One Punch Man, it's not even so much that it's different. It's very choppy looking, very rough. One Punch Man's animation mirrors the manga quality. Even if the manga quality goes downhill, I feel like it deserves to get animated right. And you know what's funny is, well, the artist that did the kind of One Punch Man remake manga, it was kind of cool seeing that art style animated and done well, like what they did with season 1 of One Punch Man. And back in the day, I used to dream that iShield 21 would get a remake. And whenever One Punch Man anime came out and its manga got popular, I started thinking like, oh, maybe iShield 21 will finally get a good animated adaptation. But ain't nothing yet still. The only animated adaptation we got recently was the manga artist actually doing a brief little animation because apparently he knows animate. But wouldn't it be kind of cool if Madhouse abandoned One Punch Man to do iShield 21? That would be so sick. The studio punched for One Punch Man Season 3 to come out quicker with less time and budget, so Madhouse didn't want it. They put the animators on a time crunch, and so they had to do... Well, I know about that part. That's unfortunate, though. You have gold, a money maker, and you just fuck it up because you need it out quick. So you deliver quick garbage. So does that mean that, like, we might be speculating, but does that mean that Madhouse did want to keep up with One Punch Man? What are they up to now? Madhouse is very versatile. They'll actually work on a lot of different projects of varying vibes. Like, they did, I finished the manga for it recently. They did Pet Shop of Horrors. I think it's like an OVA. I think they only did like 4 episodes of it, but it's like kind of crazy. Pet Shop of Horrors gives super shoujo vibes to me. I don't think it's really classified as shoujo, but it feels like it's a shoujo writer and artist. The story of literally every big company, yeah. It's usually the corpo suits that fuck everything up. And it's very unfortunate. Because I feel like a lot of projects deserved a lot better. I think the other animation fiasco regarding something like that is Invincible. I'm pretty sure that Invincible's current animation team is actually very small. Like, I heard that a lot of people got cut and that it's like a very, very tiny team. Animated an entire, like, season. And I don't remember, but people liked season 1, right? Like, even the comic fans, I don't remember seeing them complain about the animation or art style of season 1. Because I feel like season 1 was pretty on point. I think it was consistent, fluid, pretty nice. That's what I heard. It's like 5 people or like less than 10 for Invincible. We are Easy Eats right here. It's funny because the new One Punch Studio JC staff had a lot of good anime like Toradora, Saiki, K, Konosuba, Railgun, and Azumanga Daioh. Got you. Oh, I don't know if Summertime's here. Summertime, are you here? Summertime might be sleeping. Okay. Oh, I'm actually running out of gas. So we are here. I need to just go to Easton. I think in terms of animation, the project or IP that pissed me off the most... Oh, thank you for dropping by. And also, thank you so much. But I think the project that disappointed me the most of all anime, of all cartoons, animations, is Shaman King's remake. Because the first Shaman King, it made things up enough in style most of the time. And even then, they would have some pretty rough episodes in terms of, like, how the characters are drawn. Not so much, like, how they would look in animation, because that's two separate things. You can have the art look nice, but the animation be bad, or vice versa, or both. Shaman King, even for an anime, Shaman King just did not have much animation going on. It was a lot of still frames, like a lot. Just a camera pan into, like, feign movement, like, that, nothing that's unheard of for anime, but the way that Shaman King did it was just really noticeable from what I remember. And so whenever they announced a remake, I was like, oh, wow. Wow, they're gonna, like, actually adapt it faithfully. Okay, that's cool. They made it shinier. Made everybody look glossy and fluorescent, which I hate. And they had the same animation style. They still were very bare minimum about it. I never understood why. I never understood, like, Shaman King, like, I really cherished Shaman King when I was young. But I think it is one of the weaker shonens, like, if you compare it to all the other ones. But I feel like it was something enough to deserve way better than what it got. And speaking of, the Shaman King mangaka actually apparently is working on another new manga. But I really don't like his new style. His new style is just so sterile. I miss that rough edge it used to have. Also, I think Shaman King's original anime is a better ending than, what do you call it? Oh, we need to get gas. Better ending than the manga. The manga had, like, 2 endings. It's all, like, love and peace, let's all love each other and hug and hold hands or something. And I just want characters to just kill each other. And that's what I got from the first anime. It's just a big, giant battle. Like, I think the idea is, like, quaint and nice. Like, you know what? You're a god, and we can't defeat you, and there's nothing we can do, and, you know, fuck it. Can you at least be a nice god? And then the nice god is like, okay. Like, I get it. I think it's cute. But what if they just killed each other instead? One big battle. I read shonen because I want violence. That's why, like, I was mad at Maggie. I think it's called Magi. Like, it was so good. It was basically like, I guess because, like, it gets into, like, lots of different cultures, it kind of made me think of Shaman King, because that was something that was cool about Shaman King. I felt like Magi did it better. I think Magi had better characters. I think it had better story arcs. Better art in terms of, like, overall as a whole. Because Shaman King's art was good for a while. Magi stayed consistent. But then Magi just this weird thing where, I don't know, did some kind of weird time skip at the end, and then they just talk it out, and then nothing happens, and there's no big battle or anything. Oh, Pumpkin, the simple-minded Pumpkin. Come on, Pumpkin, you must surely seek more out of life than people punching each other. No. I read sophisticated manga. Hunter x Hunter. I'm a bit of a, adjust a monocle. I'm a bit of a classy anime manga fan. I like an obscure manga called Hunter x Hunter. Perhaps you've heard of it. Where am I? It's time to go to Weston. Do synth pumpkins dream of electric pineapples? Define obscure. The easiest way to define obscurity is Hunter x Hunter, in which nobody has heard of it. I like another obscure manga. You've probably not heard of it at all. It's called Berserk. Big fan. Let me know if you want me to list any other unpopular, unknown anime. We're gonna get that lighter. Aura Larper. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Berserk is pretty, nobody's really heard of it. Upton. I've seen that word before that you're talking about, fire source. I don't know how to pronounce it, though. I'm trying to think of more stupid things to say. It's very difficult. Let me think. Going to the depot? Oh, we need to start a job. Wait. Oh, wait. I'm going here. Damn, look at how no energy I got. The fact that you're having these conversations with us shows your complexity and desire for more in life than just violence. You can keep reading violence manga for your entertainment in between. Look, what if I told you that I wanted to have epic battles with everybody in chat, though? I just legally can't do it. So I'm stuck talking about rare manga like Berserk. Gantz never broke out of being like. Did Gantz never became normie status? Did it? I would say. Oh, I don't know if I would call Berserk is kind of normie or teeter into it. What about Gantz? Gantz is definitely not as like known as Berserk in comparison, but like I don't feel like Gantz ever got like normie. Probably because like I mean we had an anime adaptation, but blame. What's the other one? Oh, I forgot if it's getting an animated adaptation or not. I don't think it is. It would suck if it did. Anything that's like dark alternative meant for older teens or adults usually gets like CGI'd or something or fucked up. But is it Blame? Hold on, let me look it up. Making sure. I'm mixing all my stuff up. Yeah. Wait, no. Yes, this Blame. My friend wanted me to read it. I keep meaning to. I just haven't gotten around to it. Oh, have a good night. Have a good night, Fire. Gantz anime is pretty old, yeah. Its anime is like... It's got good qualities to it, but the manga is definitely the way to go. Blame had a movie? When? I'm guessing live action? Or is it like... I think... What's this? Is this CGI? Netflix movie. It looks so, I mean, it's not uncommon. If you take a manga that has a more unique, quote, rougher art style, usually they'll take that and they'll conform it to be more pretty, but it would have been kind of nice if they made it more stylistic and how they draw the characters. Hi, Saya. Can you keep a secret? I don't even care. I'm hopelessly in love with Ellie. Live action adaptations are on the rise and are actually getting better. What ones do you like? I have the lighter now. Check it out. Whoa. Now we've accomplished our goal. I did watch the original Trigun and I didn't like it. I felt that I wasn't getting a spark out of it, and I found it to be pretty dull and dragged out. And so I dropped it, and then I read the manga, and the manga is like night and day. It is infinitely better. Like, and it's not Trigun just being slow that turned me away. There was something about it that bothered me that I just wasn't vibing with. Something felt low quality about its writing, and it's because it's anime writers. Not that all anime writers are bad. Like, some anime writers will create original series even. But when it comes to making an adaptation of somebody else's work, something about anime writers trying to rework it because they don't have enough material or add upon it with, like, filler, you can just tell. And the Trigun manga is, like, my favorite manga, aside Yu-Gi-Oh! Yu-Gi-Oh! And Trigun kind of do battle a little bit. Yu-Gi-Oh! Has a lot more, like, nostalgia points for me because I got deeper into it when I was young. And I still think it holds up. Trigun, though, I got into it when I was a lot older. And I just thought it was amazing. But, it's difficult to bump Yu-Gi-Oh! Down. But I kind of want to. I feel like Trigun's just way more what I look for. And, Trigun Stampede is just a really bad adaptation as well. I say that original Trigun anime is a bad adaptation. I think it's bad. It has some of the Madhouse magic, but they mischaracterize Vash. Not every single episode was very smooth and aesthetic and polished. It's not like Cowboy Bebop. Cowboy Bebop was a lot more consistent and smooth. Trigun was a lot more rough. Granted, being rough isn't like, okay, you suck now. I'm just mentioning it. Trigun's music was okay. Yeah, some of the tracks were good. But if you don't read the Trigun manga, you really haven't experienced Trigun and you're missing out. And it's not like little nitpicks. It's not like, oh, the Trigun anime was like 75% faithful and then... No. It's like Fullmetal Alchemist. So, if you don't read the Trigun manga, you're missing out, and Stampede didn't do any better of a job. Stampede didn't do, like, anything really right other than focus on the angst a bit more. That's what Stampede focuses on, is the angst. But it's not adapting anything right. It's not adapting the character arcs properly, their designs, the aesthetic that Trigun was going for, you know, like space, Mad Max, Western. Like, they just kind of go for their, like, generic, smooth sci-fi that everything does now. It's mispaced. They change character designs to be unrecognizable for no reason. It's Zoomer directed slop. I'm assuming it's directed by Zoomers, like older Zoomers. But don't you enjoy those aspects of manga? Didn't you like violence and gore? When did I say I don't like violence and gore? I'm praising the manga. Somebody remember the filler anime of Full Metal Alchemist when they switched world? I actually watched that. Wasn't the concept of the original Full Metal Alchemist anime, didn't they have it where, what is it, like, what is the motto in Full Metal Alchemist? Equivalent exchange. And so the power for alchemy was from the lives of people on the other side. So if you use alchemy, you're actually taking the life of another. Have you watched Legend of the Galactic Heroes? I've heard of it, but I haven't watched it. Oh, right. We were talking about live action. One Piece looks really good. Avatar live action series TV sounds pretty good. I don't know. I haven't heard anything good about the new Avatar live action. I thought people were hating on it, too. Get into live action Voltron movie. Wait, is Voltron anime? I thought Voltron was that, like, Western thing that's trying to look like anime. Also, I don't consider Avatar to be anime either. They're trying to mimic anime, but... Hikaru no Go manga. I used to see glimpses of it in Shonen Jump Shonen Jump magazine. Yeah, that's the reason why. Whenever they, whenever Madhouse started working on Trigun, there was only 2 volumes of Trigun out, somewhere around there. So they had almost nothing to work with. And if you're familiar with the manga and you watch the anime, you can tell that they were given early, ahead of time, very vague, basic cliff notes of the direction that the anime was going to go. And it's kind of like a bizarro Frankenstein interpretation of what the manga would end up doing, but the manga hadn't done it yet. The anime had to do it first. So there's a reason why it happens. It's just, it's very unfortunate. And I wouldn't be so angsty if it wasn't for the fact that we never got a good Trigun adaptation. The manga did finish. It's been finished for a very long time. And we get a new adaptation that says, fuck everything about this. These character designs are too 90s, and that's bad. If a young person sees Vash's hair, they might develop an eating disorder or something. I don't know. They just won't be able to handle it. So we have to change it. We have to make him a soft K-pop boy or something. Fuck this Mad Max shit. Fuck this old school anime tight suits. That sucks. We can't do that, dude. Fuck everything about it. Let's just change everything. Let's redo all the character designs. Because we can. It's not adapt. Like, it's like if they just changed the designs but followed the manga beat for beat, pace for pace, I would be pissed, but I'd be like, okay, you're trying. But they're not doing that, so... whatever. The Ranma, so I'm not overly passionate about Ranma, but I did read all the manga. I'm biased because I miss color palettes of older anime. I think that modern anime, they're all too brightened and vibrant. Like, Pixivart. You know, skin tone is really light. Hair is a really kind of light hue. Nothing ever feels, I don't know, bold in the way that I like. Like if you eyedropper tool Ranma, like whichever one, guy or girl version, Ranma's skin, and the old one, it'll be a way darker color than you realize. It's kind of nice. But if you do it on the new one, it's going to be bright. But I did see that the animation looks really good in the new Ranma. Like the fight choreography and all that. Like, it's not like it's like dog shit or whatever. I just have like preferences. There's also, what is that? It's also done by Ryukishi, I think her name is, the Inuyasha and Ranma creator. She did a manga with a character called Lum, I think. She has like green hair, dependent, and she wears, I think she's like a Oni or something. She's like tsundere, and she wears like yellow with black on it. She's like a Pikachu cosplayer. That got a remake, and I didn't like how it looked, but people were saying that it's actually more lore accurate to what the manga was going for. Something about her hair having some weird magic property. It's not actually supposed to be green. It's actually supposed to be every color ever or something like that. Okay, so we are right here, actually. I don't want to be there. I'm going here. I'm fine with solar. It's not that the saturation went up. It's not being colorful that's the problem. It's everything's bright in a different way. Like hold on. I can actually create an example right now. Give me a second. Also, got to keep in mind that whenever you take a screenshot from an older anime, it's hard to say if it's like accurate colors because depending, it'll be like more warm than it actually initially was, stuff like that. Like, I think Sailor Moon is like an infamous example of that. Trying to find a fair example, but I'm gonna do the best that I can. Gonna create a little illustration too to go with it, kind of like highlight my point. Hopefully my point's actually good. It might fall apart once I do this. Hold on, bear with me, I'm on to something here. So I'm just gonna focus on skin and hair because they're wearing different colors. Now, would I call this nitpicking? I don't know. Like, I guess I should get over it, grandma. Like, get with the times. Just accept that anime just does things a certain way now, I suppose. But I just can't help it. I don't know if it's, if you want to just write it off as nostalgia. But I feel like this just kind of highlights how a lot of anime looks for me. And I wouldn't even say that modern Ranma is like the worst example. It doesn't seem like it's doing as much like bloom as a lot of animes do. But I feel like you don't have that kind of darkness to a color palette anymore. That everything just feels so light and bright. Like his skin is like just glowing white practically. His black hair is more like a dull gray. His red shirt is kind of like a pink hue. You know, there just doesn't, I don't know. Whereas like the old one, something just kind of felt nice and deep about the colors. Like, there's more colors since the 80s? What are you trying to say? It's like, if there's so many colors, why do a lot of modern animes, not that all of them do, but why do a lot of modern animes kind of gradually, or go to, like, the same kind of colors? If there's so many colors, what's wrong with, like, an anime or two coming out that does bolder colors? So, well, sometimes terminology can be a little bit tricky. I know I use the wrong terms a lot. What did you miss? We're just kind of like rambling. It's my typical rant on discussing anime color palettes. The film process for color got better, so they used more. So does that mean that I mean, there might be some science to why they started doing this, but do I have to like this because of that? The film process for color got better, so they used more. So now they're using these colors. But that doesn't mean I have to like it, right? Like, I can still like this more, right? And I know sometimes people will be like, oh, well, the reason why it looked like this is because it's a physical medium. And like, I get it, but... Okay. It's funny because it's almost the opposite for video games. Old games had more color, and new games focus too much on realism and lose a lot of their palette. It's like, I know that the tech got better. I just think that things get, trendy or popularized or standardized. Like, for example, does modern Sailor Moon have to look the way it does? Like, I know technology changed, but is there no other possible way that Sailor Moon could have looked whenever they redid it? Like, does it have to be washed out looking? Does it have to be really kind of, I don't know what you'd call it, saturated pale? What would you call that?
Names of a friend.
Thank you for the follow. But I'm just, that's fine. Like, I don't have a stake in what Ranma does. A lot of these animes that go through these looks, changes, whatever, I'm not even watching them anyway. I'm not the audience. And there's always something out there that's made for me, style-wise. But I can't think of many. I did like Modern Chainsaw Man. I like Chainsaw Man. I like Chainsaw Man. No. I'm talking about new Sailor Moon. Wait. Do I want to... I think I have the music paused. Old Sailor Moon is hard and tricky because, I don't know how to find a screenshot that's actually accurate for Sailor Moon, because there's a lot of people that say that, oh, those screenshots where it looks really pink is not accurate. That Sailor Moon actually looked a little, the like image looked a little bit more yellow. I think that happens with Yu Yu Hakusho too. Yu Yu Hakusho would actually be a lot more like cold lit. Where am I? Oh, I can only see the map when I'm in here. Pick up from Easy Auto. I need coffee. I'm gonna die. Help. Wait. Yes. I need to progress with my quest. One thing people forget too with anime is that they used to have to paint anime and then film it, huge limitations on colors. Today with digital world, you can have more colors, and since a lot of animes are feel good, studios adapted the lighter color style for almost all their animations. I just don't ever like it when I see it. For the most part. Delicious. Well, I would say there's bigger issues than just color palettes, though. It's digital post-processing effects that I think are more of an eyesore. You guys know what I mean? Like, oh, the sun is somewhere. Let's have God rays from the corner, like, coming in or something. Too much. Or weird experimental stuff with Shaden, like they did for Prison School. And for the record, how do I say, I don't branch out much for anime. I don't really consume a lot anymore. I kind of am in my bubble, and I just go and I read manga for, like, old series. So that's why we kind of have sort of similar combos whenever we talk about anime. I use kind of like the same pool of examples. It's because I'm kind of like in a time capsule, I think, more than other anime fans. Pawn shop. I need to go to Easy Auto. Oh, here it is. Wait. No. Oh, I'm picking up from, that's why. And even when it comes to manga, I'm pretty slow to get to read a new series. But it's because, you know, I stream, or I doom scroll and fidget around, or I'm watching it like a live action show or like movies. Yeah, I saw that Dorohedoro had a new season that released. I don't know if it's all out or if it's still coming out, but I feel like there is hope for CGI and anime. I think that CGI is getting a bit better as it goes on, and I think it's going to continue to get better. But I don't ever want it to get to a point where it eradicates 2D animation, and unfortunately, I really do worry about that. I don't want it to be like the Western scene, but then again, it's not like 2D's completely gone. But I would say that Western scene does want to gravitate towards CGI, CG more. Speaking of 2D animation, though, I am not an Avatar fan. I don't hate it. I consumed it, thought it was pretty good, and then I moved on. I guess the new movie got leaked. It's an animated movie, and I guess it's adult Aang, Katara, Sokka, and Toph Zuko. They're all together. They're all friends. And the animation looks really good, really, really smooth. It's unfortunate that it got leaked, but looked nice. It looked just a lot more fluid. Whatever. I mean, are you getting mad because I'm just saying how I feel about Avatar? I didn't say it was bad. I just said that I don't, like, overly like it that much. Also, hi, Machina. Hello. A big girthy tail. Or medium-sized girthy tail. AI is better at... will probably be the future anime style. I did hear that... They're trying to implement AI more. I saw, actually, there was some anime opening that used AI for the backdrops. And then they went back and they redid the backdrops for, like, the opening as not AI. So that's a thing. Capcom got their games leaked twice. Which games got leaked? Steel Ball Run and the new season Dorohedoro has nice 3D that's hard to notice. Oh, that's right. I forgot. Steel Ball Run, it has a little bit of CGI from what I saw in the trailer, but it has a lot more 2D than I expected. Like, they even draw the horses sometimes. It's not always relegated to 3D. RA9 and Pragmata. Did it get leaked? I guess I forgot.
I'll take you.
AI would be good for a base to work from or flesh out ideas, but for a final product, no. Yeah, like, if you, like, that's what we thought the old AI argument used to be. Like, okay, you guys are just using it for the creative process, like for drafting concepts, which just sucks because that used to be a job. It used to be a job of people who learned how to actually draw backgrounds and stuff to come up with concepts and stuff, but, well, they're gonna get booted out for AI. That's unfortunate, but it is what it is. But what's the argument when you have it as the final product? All right, look at this. I gotta get my lighter, yeah. Do you want to make generic slop? They do want to make generic slop, though. Hell, even when they're not using AI, they want to make generic slop. Aha, that's just me being a hater. There's plenty of good stuff out there. Oh yeah, devs, and I think Japan especially, they just fucking hate leakers. Leakers ruin everything. I think there's some times that people like leakers, but I don't know what context. I forgot to what degree did 9 get leaked exactly? Like the entire game? Oh, was it Kamiya? I think Kamiya made a note about being really, really pissed off at the leaker. Just basically calling them like a piece of shit. Let me out, please. Remember when this was gonna be a no mic stream? That was crazy. How did your Krauser fight go? Hope you didn't hit my husband too hard. Welcome. It's been a while. Knifed him. Excellent, excellent. He deserves only the best of swipes. Oh, out of curiosity, does Season 2 of Dorohedoro do any visual improvements or changes, or did they go for keeping it consistent? Because you could do either one, really. But sometimes people will take the time to actually, like, make Season 2 more advanced for some projects. It depends. Husband Hotel actually did that. They would change some character designs for Season 2 and have some improvements. The argument is even replacing these people with AI in the first place. People with genuine talent who put time and effort into the content versus an AI that uses all of their past work to make something that a corporation can just fold around their fingers and use to create mediocre content. Yeah, and it's like, it's done to save costs. It's for corpos, really. Or it's for people who want to get rich quick. Like, I know we have some people that do like AI that come around here. But they're usually not able to convince me very well of the pros of it exactly. Like, even if there is a pro, I feel like there's just so many cons that it kind of cancels it out. But I'm always going to come from, like, an artist perspective. And again, I'm pretty confident that my art was used from, like, through AI in a game before. So I'm kind of, like, kind of really fucking bothered, I guess. RE9 is seer tier. I don't remember if you were there, Machina, but I got to I'm not quite done with the asylum or whatever, but I am at, like, a micro location after it. Like, I went through it as Leon, and then I'm controlling Grace again, and I'm kind of, like, there now. And then I think after I finish that section, then I'm going to circle back to being at the asylum, and then go to the real next area. I've enjoyed my time, but I'm wise to modern Capcom, so I'm sure that it's going to get a little bit kind of, like, meh from here.
Names of a friend.
Thank you for the follow. Besides, anything good in life takes a little effort. Or AI, haha. We all hate AI, right? Haha. Thumbs up, high five, ha. Haha. Why don't you brew yourself some coffee? I get free coffee from here. Only this one time. We're gonna cook some coffee. We're gonna cook some coffee. Oh. Where's my, Oh. I meant to turn the in-game audio back on. Crowcat, what a fraud! I can't believe it! I can't believe he has critiques about the game. The perfect masterpiece. That original Resident Evil 4 was always bad. It was always so bad. So very, very bad. I love Resident Evil 4. Wait, there's a remake? Oh my god, I hate Resident Evil 4. I love Resident Evil 4 remake. Look at this guy singing at me, yo. Guess what? We're gonna grind for some tires. Tailgate open. Stop telling me. Yeah. But to go back to what one of you brought up earlier, the One Piece live action. I've heard good things about it. Oda's heavily involved with it. They look like, for the most part, they actually really give a shit about who they cast to be the characters. A lot of live action adaptations of games and anime, they don't seem like they give a shit if you look like the character. They just cast, are you the same gender? Maybe, if even, you don't even need to be. Alright, you're hired, you could be Luffy, whatever. But with One Piece, they actually get people that, for the most part, seem to actually suit the character. And it's like, that's kind of wild. It's like, do you see Robin? They look crazy good. I need tires, I need this, and yay. From what I'm guessing, though, I mean, the One Piece live action is probably gonna be what I expect. It's gonna be like a very charming, on-point cosplay adaptation of the manga. It's gonna be campy, it's gonna be silly, and it probably has a lot of soul. But I don't think I'm gonna watch it. Because I don't need live actions. I never ever have wanted a live action for an anime for the most part. I don't even want live actions for most games. Like, I think they're talking for the 500th time, they're talking Metal Gear Solid movie might be coming. I don't want a Metal Gear Solid. I don't know if you're gonna do it right. They once humored a Devil May Cry movie a long time ago. Devil May Cry, oh my god, I want Devil May Cry to be live action. I want it to look really artificial and cheap. Weird and distracting. Hi, Luna. Pick up from the pawn shop. And it also doesn't help that it's very cash grabby. It's like, feels like every 5 seconds, new live action for this, new live action for that. Now we're doing live action for this and that. Live action for this game, live action for that game. You get a live action, I get a live action. Your brother gets a live action. Your divorced wife gets a live action. Like, they're doing a Bloodborne now, right? And it's like, YouTuber, it's a fucking filthy YouTuber. He's rich, I guess. Is he directing it or is he producing it? Maybe he'll hire somebody to... He's the producer, but he'll hire a producer to do it. Let's go... We're going to Winton. What else are we getting? What? Oh, right. We're getting a Zelda live action, right? When do we get another Mario live action? Instead, we get a CGI, Western CGI slapper modern movie. I don't know anything about Jacksepticeye. I don't know. I don't even know. I'm not educated enough on him to have emotions to him. Except that he's rich! He's a fucking filthy YouTuber! I'm sure he's a nice guy. What are your thoughts on Super Mario Galaxy movie? I haven't seen it. I haven't watched I haven't watched any of the Mario. God damn it, God damn it, God damn it, God damn it. I need the tires. God damn it, God damn it, God damn it. I need a... Hold on, what? Let me think. What was I talking about? Monton. Yeah, let's go there. What was I talking... Oh, I don't remember. Something about Mario. Gundam's getting live action movies. Japan or West? Bloodborne movie animated. Interesting. Is that true? Once we get these tires, I won't be trapped in this goddamn forsaken hell. I think I'm here, right? No, it's here. Oh, have a good night. Thank you for dropping by. Don't forget Silent Hill movies. New Silent Hill movies. New Resident Evil movies. I'm surprised we haven't gotten like a Fatal Frame movie. Oh, don't worry. It's on the way. New Fatal Frame movie. Oh yeah. New Lord of the Rings. New Harry Potter. Going. Now I have my tires. Now I can go anywhere I want. Oh, I forgot. Who was the actor that they got to be in Assassin's Creed? They got like a skinny guy. Yeah, right. I forgot his name. Winton. First Blood Rain movie was decent. I saw it. It was something. It was certainly something. I like the Doom movie. That's old though. I don't think it was Fassbender. Was it? No, I don't think so. Michael Fassbender? No, it's like they got... I forgot his name. Was he the guy in Donnie Darko? Huh? Oh yeah, I like the Mortal Kombat movie too. Wait. Was it Fassbender? Hold on. Michael Fassbender was willing to be in an Assassin's Creed movie? That's him? Shit, I was mixing it up with another guy. Huh. Well, I mean, we're also talking about Uwe Boll, right? Uwe Boll is kind of like a bit rough. I like what House of the Dead. I thought that was funny. The Blood Rain. The only reason why I didn't really like the Blood Rain movie is it was like trying to take place. It wasn't adapting the game really. It felt like they're doing like a prequel or something. Like, it's not, like, terrible, but I didn't really feel like I got attached to it. New Resident Evil movie, but the old ones are so good. The first one is, though. It actually is, for what it is. The rest are slapper. But, I mean, I'm down. I want a new zombie movie. Like, I don't care that it's called Resident Evil, whatever. I just want a new zombie movie that's kind of cool. And they got an interesting director and team to do this new one, so color me interested. Because I can dissociate. If I like a movie enough for what it is, I can look over it being not faithful or whatever. But the problem is a lot of the old Resident Evil movies, they were not able to be good movies. As movies, they were very just, ugh. You mentioned the Modern Mortal Kombat. I saw the first of that Modern Mortal Kombat with the Scorpion Son. I really didn't. It wasn't bad. It's just very stale. It's like competent. It's competent. That's kind of it. What's this guy talking about? I can't. Oh, I have no jobs and I must scream. How much money do I got in this? Okay. Oh, I have to drink this. Apparently, there was a leak saying it has nothing to do with Ari outside of quick references near the end of the film. Based. It's like Paul W. Anderson's movie then. Hey, like, you know what? That's the most we can get. If we want to get a competent movie, the cost is that we have to get a cool director that doesn't give a fuck about the games. Despite them saying that they do. They always say they do, they don't. But that's what you have to do to get a competent movie. Not even competent, a pretty good movie, enjoyable movie. You have to get a director that's pretty cool that doesn't give a shit. But if you want a movie that's also not faithful and shit, then you have to get a director that also doesn't care and doesn't do anything right either, which is Welcome to Raccoon City and Netflix Resident Evil. So pick your poison. One of those gives you an entertaining, decent quality, decent visual, decent acting movie. And then the other gets you pish slap. That's factual. If anybody tells you Welcome to Raccoon City is good, they need a lobotomy. If anybody tells you that it's faithful, or at least it's more faithful, they need a lobotomy. Most people do forget about the Netflix one. So, is the new Mortal Kombat movie out that has Carl Urban as not fucking Kano? As Johnny Cage for some reason? What if we subvert things? I know I look like Kano, but what if I just told you to go fuck yourself and I was Johnny Cage? Sounds like something Johnny Cage would say. Something Johnny Cage would do. By God, the man is Johnny Cage. Wow. There's also the new Street Fighter movie coming out. I'm open-minded. I don't care. Maybe I'll watch it. Just do whatever you want. Just do a cosplay movie. I don't care. Has anyone told you that your tangents are adorable? How typical. 'Cause I'm a woman, an opinionated woman. I'm just adorable. I'm just silly. I'm just laughable. I'm just insane. But if it was a man, you would be clapping. You would be applauding for me. You would be telling me that I am so strong, so right. You would be calling me brother. I hate being objectified. Starts blushing. Is jury even? What are you talking about, Raimi? That's exactly what you were saying. 100%. I interpret you correctly. Oh, okay. They don't even have jury, right? It's gonna be like Cammy and Chun-Li, and I think it's just adapting the early ones. Or do they have a foot queen? Do they got a foot woman? Foot woman. Welcome to the jury audition. Oh, you're very beautiful. The board here is going to have to take a little taste test of your toes to see that if you qualify. And if you qualify, you can be a jury in our Netflix Street Fighter movie. I'm lost! I don't know where to go! Lost! See, this ain't even the hard biome. This is the difficult biome. This is like... No, yeah, this ain't the hard biome. This is like the moderately kind of more challenging. Unapologetically old school. What? No, I'm totally adaptable. I love opening my mind to all things that are new. Oh. Yay! There's a little bit of a communication slip up. I'm talking to my artist for the Moe merch, teehee. But unfortunately, for some reason, they weren't able to see my email at first. So they kind of hit me up and they're like, hey, just let me know if you're able to do it. And I'm like, oh, fuck, ooh, what's going on? So I had to contact them, but they seem to have gotten a hold of my message now. So that is now officially in production. And maybe I should have waited until later, but it's good to arrange things earlier with the Woo Market because you kind of have to schedule the drop ahead of time. And so the art will be done really soon, but I won't be able to, you know, do the merch drop until December. So I'm going to be sitting on really cute art for a while and not be able to share it or show anybody. But hey, that's just life. Let's go to... What time is it? Shit, it's late. How long have I been streaming? I think 3 hours. Right? It's not that long. But you know what? I admit I do want to watch episodes of Severance because I like it. How do I quit? Abort? Don't mind if I do. Let's go ahead and wrap this up. Look at that little no mic thing. What do you think that means? Anyway. I have been very successful with my physical therapy. I've been feeling really good again. It really is constant maintenance to be okay. Downside though is that it does cost a bit of money and I've been needing to go every single week. But I like it because I like their equipment that they have. It's really helpful. I do want to eventually get to a point where I can do some of those exercises at home. I know I can already do some of them, but I'll ease into it eventually. But I've been feeling very good. And, I mean, I still have, like, little episodes, kind of, like, micro ones, where I'm like, ugh, I feel sore. But I feel good again. So I'm confident that this is something that can continue to improve. I just have to continue to stay on it. But, I wanted to thank everybody so much for coming and hanging out with me. I'm very happy that it ended up not being a quiet stream. I told people on Twitter to not come because it would probably be really quiet. But then I ended up not doing that. But, I mean, when you guys talk, it makes me want to talk too. So, it's like, it just kind of works out. You guys gotta kind of brought out the energy back out of me. And I had a lot of fun, actually. I always really like playing, this game. This game is just really good for yapping. But we'll try to get to another one soon. I actually was thinking at some point starting up, where is it? I bought it recently. Kulo Niku. It is the cooking game. It's really cute looking. I wanted to kind of, play that today maybe, but I felt it was best to, like, do something that's easy to be quiet for, which is driving, obviously, and then play music. So, damn, I'm sorry that I ended up not being a DJ like I kind of planned, but whatever. Again, thank you so much for coming. I won't be streaming tomorrow, probably. I don't know when I plan to pop on next. We don't really have a strict schedule anymore, but at least, sometime on the weekend for sure. Yeah, maybe even Friday. Who knows? So let me go ahead and share. So here's my Discord. If if you feel like joining my Discord community, you could be notified whenever I go live or whenever we do game and movie nights. Here is my website. This has all of my external links, ways to support, although I kind of posted the wrong version of the website. I have a Moe website, which is Sailor Synth content specifically. Sailor Synth and Captain Inessa, my kind of current form. It's basically the same shit, but they have their own different reference sheets and lore pages. And then, lastly, my main Twitter. You know what I should do? Oh. I should change it to where that command posts both of my Twitters, because I have PumpkinSynth and then I have Sailor Synth, because I kind of have them separately. Oh, and that's my merch link. Thank you. That shows my last merch drop that I did last year. I think I did it February, but don't quote me on that. I'm pretty sure I did it for Valentine's Day, if I recall, right? And that was kind of nice. Actually, I'm going to stay here really quick. I'm going to adjust that damn command once and for all to make it just link both Twitters. Because I was going to add a new command and have it be like, I have to type Moe Twitter, but that's annoying. So what if I just do Twitter and have it have two links? Where is it? Where are you? It's gone! What? What? It acts like it's not a fucking command. Okay, whatever. I'll just do it for sure and not forget after stream. Oh yeah, and that's my Ko-Fi link. That's a way that you can support me or look at my art if you just want to see what my art looks like. But yeah, those are my links. Now let's see who's around. Let's raid. Oh, it's Sobuo's birthday. Let's raid them. Raid. Okay. Okay, good night, everybody. I'll see you guys later.